Call to order. This is a joint general government subcommittee town council meeting, Thursday, April 16th, 2026 at 6 p.m. in the Veterans Meeting Room. Agenda item number 2, roll call. Councilor Daniel.
Present.
Ms. Clemens.
Present.
Councilor Dow is absent. Councilor Kelly is here. We have a quorum. Agenda item number 3, consider and accept general government subcommittee meeting minutes of A, January 7th, 2026, February 18th, 2026, and C, March 18th, 2026.
Sorry. So moved.
Wait, you took them, hang on.
No. Let's take them all one at a time.
Right.
Yeah, consider and accept general government subcommittee meeting minutes of January 7th, 2026.
So moved.
Second,
Discussion?
yes.
Yes. Right. You can go first.
It's like, I'm trying to get through, like I said, packet was late, but it was a missed deal. Number 5. Item number 5. This is very interesting. Is these actually done by a person, or is it AI generated in some way? I'm just curious. That's a question.
It's done by Sharon.
Okay, so it's got so on number 5, review, discuss town account transfer, whatever. It says Citizen Clements, it does a good job there, said it was in the center director. Councilor Shedner said he did not receive that. Manager stated it was in the transfer request, especially. Center director, how do you know when something's wrong? I clearly, because I don't know what that means. How could I say it was in the center director? Like, we don't know what that is.
Okay.
Just saying, again, that's why I asked, is this AI or is this a person who's like just...
It's a person that did
It
it.
does
So
it?
Sharon, our
Okay.
recording clerk.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. And then, number 7, discuss the lease on 64 Mill. And you've got, it's interesting consolidation of things with that, but then it's got the leases for the last 10 years. No new update leases for the last 10 years, but it's got Tammy Gravel. It's not Tammy, it's Anna Gravel. It's not a Tammy.
I thought that's what she sent it to us. I thought it was Tammy, but I'll
Anna,
check, yeah.
Anna Gravel.
That
That's
may
who
have
I
been-
deal with.
That might have been my mistake when I
Because
said
I
it.
have her,
Yeah.
she's like, even in my phone, let me just, there's no Tammy that I'm aware of there. I always deal with, Ann Gravel, Anna Gravel, Ann Gravel. So it must have just sounded maybe
Maybe, yeah.
something, I don't know, but just saying. So this is the kind of stuff that, like, you're looking at it and I just, it's hard to go through the whole thing so quickly. Because if you don't read it, then you don't know. Yeah.
Anything else on that?
No, I think that's it for me on that one.
Yep.
Did I miss something?
And number 1, the call to order. The chair was Daniel that night. Councilor Kelly was excused.
That's funny, I don't even know. I don't look at this stuff.
Okay. Anything else on the minutes of January 7th?
So make a motion, should we make a motion to accept them as amended?
Yes.
Raise the motion. Make a motion to accept the minutes as amended.
Second.
Okay. All those in favor? Okay, I have to abstain. 2-0. 2-0 and 1 abstention. Okay, moving on. Still under agenda item number 3. Consider and accept general government subcommittee meeting minutes of February 18th, 2026.
So moved.
Yeah, can you see what I'm looking at?
Yeah. You can read them right.
I'm ready for that. I'm almost ready for the last one.
If you see anything you need changed, let me know.
You just give me a sec, because I just like said. I usually I look mostly at things I said, because I can't guarantee whatever gets said. Yeah, those look like I got through most of it, just that last paragraph.
big.
I didn't change the box. I didn't say anything with this one, I did. I didn't know what to say from that was first thing.
Anything on, any
You good?
changes or amendments? No?
Yep. Okay.
Okay. All right, then all those in favor? Well, I guess we need a motion to accept.
Oh, we need a second.
I can second, but I can't vote on
Right.
it. I'll second.
Okay.
All those in favor?
2-0.
2 and 1. And still on agenda item number 3, consider and accept general government subcommittee meeting minutes of March 18th, 2026.
So moved.
Second? Okay. All right. I'm okay.
Any changes or deletions? All those in favor? Yeah.
Thank you.
Agenda item number 4, review and discuss FY 2027 Town Council budget number 1111 in the amount of $20,000. Entertain a motion to submit to Town Council as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
So this budget right here, level funded budget, the only changes that we have, we reduced the recording clerk from $9,000 to $8,000, and that's based on expenses. We decreased, we level funded the conference and meetings. You'll see the revised budget for 26 is because we had transfers, but we're gonna keep it at 4,500 if we need transfers throughout the year. It's based on number of counselors that go to the conference. And dues and subscriptions went up 2.9%, and that's just a reflection of what MMA increases are for the year.
Any further discussion?
That's, I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Manager, is that enough for the conferences?
Well, every year, it depends on the number of people that go, so we keep it, we keep it pretty level. Denise, I have it up here too, if you
Yeah,
need to see it. So,
no, I'm
the
just
whole
making
budget right
notes.
here.
I don't have a printed copy.
Given the tough budget that we have, we're doing our best to at least level service it and see where it goes when the conference comes around.
Yeah.
So,
How many councils have been attending?
2 years ago, 6 out of 7, 8 out of 9 went. And then last year, I believe it was 5.
Right.
I only know because of my back.
Yeah, so. Yeah. I know Councilor Kelly was there, Councilor Daniel was there, Councilor Adams came for a
Yep.
bit. Councilor Ortiz,
Ortiz down.
Councilor Dow, I believe that was until 5. So just recommend level fund.
Okay.
Okay.
Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor? 3-0. Agenda item number 5, review and discuss the FY 2027 Town Council Reserve Budget 1132 in the amount of $80,000. Entertain a motion to submit to Town Council as presented.
So moved.
Second.
So Town Council Reserve Budget, we're recommending a level fund for this year.
Okay. If I, through the chair?
What's that?
Yes,
Go ahead.
Ms. Clemens.
I have some comments, questions.
Okay.
So you mentioned it is not in the packet, just so you know, I don't have any.
Yeah, I thought it was.
Yeah, it is not, so there's nothing to compare to.
Okay, what do you
So
want?
you're just, and what you put up there is just current,
Right, so.
where's the, because normally you have some sort of spreadsheet to go by, and you can kind of see what last year was, well, like you,
Well, I can tell you.
actually,
right-
what does yours look like?
This one, I don't have it.
This is just 25, 26, and then to 27. Where's the, the history? You don't do history anymore? Just curious.
This is the way it prints out now. In the last couple of years, this is the way it's not a great format that we have. So you want
I was out of town. for
town
that.
council reserve. So this is why I brought this board down here this year, so
Yeah.
that you can look at it.
Yeah.
So by town council reserve, historically, we were at 82,000 that year. In 25, it was $100,000. We reduced it based on, for this fiscal year, to 80,000. We had transferred out about 70,000. We had 30,000 remaining. That's the only reserves we have for anything that happens throughout the year. So if you want to go back to the history, this is the history going back all the way. See, this helps a lot more than on paper, right?
Well, no, because we
So-
used to have, I
right,
can just say,
so-
there was one time we had like 5 years or something.
Right.
Just saying,
Munis
back in
doesn't-
the day.
Yes. KBS used to be able to do that back in the day. Munis, I'm not so sure.
So historically, you went $100,000.
We were at 100,000. A couple of years ago, we dropped it down to 80 that year. And then we dropped it, we had to put it back, we put it back up to 100,000. And last year, we dropped it to 80 for this fiscal year, and we're recommending 80,000 again.
What is this particular line item for?
It's reserved, so anything that happens throughout the year.
Right, because we didn't spend anything out of it, 2026.
It's the rainy day fund.
We've already transferred out
That's fine.
$4,600 this year.
Okay.
Last year we transferred out 70,000. That year before we transferred 82,000. So this would be any unexpected increase if we had a shortage in like an assessment center. We have to do the assessment center for the fire department, right? We didn't budget it for the year. Somebody retired. We're going to transfer money out of that account, potentially out of that account. So that's the only reserve that you have outside of your stabilization funds. So we always budget about $100,000 to $80,000 to $100,000 for that purpose.
Okay.
And that's been historic that way.
All right,
Okay?
thank you. Any further questions? Okay, all those in favor? Unanimous, 3-0. Just for the record, Councilor Chenier is sitting at the table, but is not a voting member of the committee, just so everybody knows. Agenda item number 6, review and discuss FY 2027 town manager budget number 1123 in the amount of $380,516. Entertain a motion to submit to town council as presented.
So moved.
Second.
This overall budget has a 1% overall increase. That's a reflection of its salary and wages full-time. It's my salary and the 2 administrative assistants that we have. One that's part-time, 32 hours a week, and the other one's full-time. The reason for the slight increase is only because the person that was in the previous position for my executive assistant left, and now the new person's at a lower step, so it's just the fact of that. The salary and wages part-time is Dean, and then the rest is, we took out printing of $50, but other than that, and we increased office supplies, so. But overall, the budget is 1% increase.
Councilor Chenier.
Does this salary account or ideal contract ad include the small raise that you got? Is this accurate?
When we built the budget, yes, we did build in the budget, yes.
Okay, same thing with the other two, Jeanette and,
Yes,
Jeanette just started with.
but it's based on anniversary date, there would be an adjustment mid-year, so it wasn't counted. Yeah, so if you look at that here, you see that she has 7.7 payrolls at 33.42.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And then they'll have an anniversary that will go up at the second step. So that's how that's raised. So, okay. And like mine, you'll see my contract goes to August 29th,
Right.
and then per the new contract would be the new rate for the remaining pay periods. We base all the budgets on salary at 26.1 periods, 26.1 pay periods for the year.
That's when they get paid.
You have might have and you might have a split payroll at the end of the year. Questions?
Any other questions? Comments?
A lot of office supplies.
Huh?
A lot of office supplies.
Well, office supplies, we also have, we help support, town council has an office supply line item, but we have a supply item because, we manage it pretty well, but we've been cleaning out the office with some additional stuff, so.
Okay.
So
That's fine.
postal request, is that as a revenue?
What's that?
Postal freedom of information and you pay for
That would go in as a miscellaneous revenue.
revenue?
Yeah.
Okay.
All set.
Okay. Any further questions?
I can
All those in
send this to
favor?
you. I'll send them all to you.
All those in favor? Line item, agenda item number 7. Review and discuss the FY 2027 Human Resources Budget, number 1152, in the amount of $126,384. Entertain a motion to submit to Town Council as presented.
So moved.
So on this budget, you'll have Nor at her step increase effective July 1. So that's the increase. So it's the raise plus the step. So you remember it's a raise plus a step. Print forms. Nor has to print a lot of forms, and that's why the increase on that. A lot of to retirees, to people that are on for our health plan. There's a lot of printing that she has to do, so that's the increase for that. And recruitment, we're gonna have level fund, conference and meetings. So the increase in conference and meetings, that was an error we did last year. It should have been at a higher number, and that was inadvertent, so that's the number that we're showing now. And that's basically it. Medical screenings. We have a change in the policy, and so there's a decrease of $3,900. So overall, the budget increase for that department is 2.94%.
Any discussion? Okay. No. All those in favor? Agenda item number 8. Review and discuss the FY 2027 legal attorney budget, number 1151, in the amount of $122,500. Entertain a motion to submit to Town Council as presented.
So moved.
So the $2,500 is for our hearing officer. That's by statute. We have to pay $2,500 per year for the minutes of the hearing officer. And then our attorney's fees, we set at $120,000.
Can I see the historic on that?
Sure. I knew you would.
Somebody should.
No, I mean, it's just for the record, it's not funny, because I try to avoid all the legal fees as humanly possible, but there's a lot of issues that are
It's not
going on. Huh?
But it wasn't evident for some reason.
I'm just gonna say for the record, me personally, I do my best to manage the legal within my control. Within my control. Whatever else I have to out because of pending legal actions, or other cases. We've also, not only do we have legal action, legal matters, but we have the rail trail that we had to do a lot of easements. We have the TIP project, which we were required to do the easements and have legal counsel. So that takes up a lot of time. The fire station, even though it's ongoing, we've had to do an easement, some paperwork on that. So it's not just some matters. There's a lot of things that we have moving that are moving things forward for the town that cost because of legal. But this is historically over the last, well, I'm going to say two. This fiscal year, we have 3 collective bargaining units that we're doing, so we have some legal counsel for that as well. So we did pretty well. The police contract, we did not really utilize legal counsel except for reviewing the finance. Dispatch is the same way. However, we are engaged with legal counsel for the firefighters, and that's just because of some matters. So that's where we're at. That was why the increase here, why we increased this 5,000 this year, was because we knew we had 3 bargaining units that we were doing. So we made sure that we had enough money for that. The history going back, you'll see where we've been. So.
Can I ask a question through the chair?
Yes, go ahead.
Is this all legal counsel fees, or do you have other legal accounts, legal counsel?
No, this is it.
This is the total?
This, let me catch.
'Cause I'm not
We
sure.
do have water and sewer, small
Okay.
amounts within
Oh,
that
yeah,
budget,
That's, okay.
but it's like 10,000 in sewer and 5,000 in water.
Right, but that's
Typical-
paid out.
Paid by the enterprise.
Yeah.
Board of Health, they're legal, don't they, or is that?
No, Board of Health comes out of here too, so
Yeah,
anything that we have
that's
Board of
part
Health.
of it too.
Yeah.
I can see
So-
the enterprise funds are separate, obviously.
Yeah, so, yeah, I just want to make sure that was clear. Yeah, so we have, out of here, we have Caprera that does a lot of our housing,
You're still using Rob? I thought,
just for some housing stuff. He came back to help with some housing. We have Mead, Costerman, Coster and Tellerman for liquor. We use KP Law and Miracle County for some of the environmental stuff and other matters. So our main legal counsel is KP Law at this time. We also do engage another attorney for tax title, but that's paid out of the tax title accounts. So that's a separate specialty that she handles, just tax title, and that's Iris Lee. So, yeah, so that's our legal. But that doesn't come out of this.
right,
That would just come out of whatever, because they have a separate special revenue for the tax titles.
right. Okay,
Okay?
thanks.
Okay?
Any further discussion? Not, all those in favor? 3-0. Agenda item number 9, review and discuss the FY 2027 town accountant budget, numbers 1135 and 3135, in the amount of $289,133. Entertain a motion to submit to town council as presented.
So moved.
Second.
So on this, we have the accountant, the assistant accountant, and the admin assistant that we added. That position is vacant at this time, and we've only had it filled for about 4 months. However, there is a need in this department for that admin assistant, because not only do we do the town accounts, we also have all the school accounts that have to be through the accounts office. We learned that, and it's needed. So that poster is posted right now. So outside of that, we the specialized services, $10,000. There's some shredding that goes on along with that, but also we use a consultant to assist, because as we developed the accountant over the last 3 years, and this number has really come down on the specialized services, we use a consultant, Lori Del Olio. She usually helps during the tax recap when we have to submit that, and at the end of the year for some of the closing of the books. For the amount that we paid last fiscal year, well, in fiscal year 24, we spent about $22,000 for that service. Last year was $7,000, and year to date we're about $5,400. So we're weaning that department off of it, but she has a lot of experience because it's highly technical in the tax recaps and the end of the year reports. So Christine's done a great job getting herself up to speed on that, but that's the overall budget. And then we have for the conferences, for them to obtain further certifications. Emma and Christine attend the Mass Municipal Accounting Association seminars. So, And we also have, of course, for Mark Abrams. Mark Abrams right now is doing our enterprise fund indirect cost analysis. So he does a lot of accountant training for accountants in the Commonwealth. So the overall budget increase on this is 1%.
So,
Yes.
the,
Council
this
Chair.
is the 31-35 budget?
Yeah, 1135.
Okay, so 31-35, it shows town account, that's a separate budget.
The
Ambulance billing,
yes, that's a separate one.
Medicaid,
Yeah.
and, yeah, are we,
Yeah, well, yeah. Oh, you want to do that one too at the same
oh,
time?
yeah,
Well,
I'm just,
Wait a minute, let's just do one at a time, so
Right.
we don't get it all
Sure.
confused, okay? So, let's take 1135. We have any further questions on 1135? All right, and Mr. Manager, why don't we move over to 3135?
Okay.
I'd say in the day, we went through everything got a vote. everything.
Yeah, I was just thinking
was-
that
we
maybe.
used
I mean, you can take it
Yeah,
for the
no, I'm
amendment.
just-
Take
I
it
don't know
separately.
what
That's
They
fine.
did last year, because I wasn't.
Yeah, you can do that. That's fine.
I'm just saying, in the day.
I don't mind. I mean,
But why don't you tell us about 3135 now?
3135 is ambulance billing, Medicaid, and the OPEB study. So we have ambulance billing services, so we engage ComStar for the ambulance billing. That's not a task that we can take in-house. So we have that out of house, out of a special appropriation finance department. Medicaid billing also, as we pay for the additional cost we have to put all the special Medicaid, whether it's school or town ambulance, through to Medicaid, and we get reimbursed. So that's that. And then the OPEB actuarial study is we are required under the accounting standards to review our OPEB balances and do the cost of study. And every year you have to do it, but every 3 years, I think it is, you have to do a more intense study. So this coming year is the more intensive study.
What is OPEB?
Other post-employment benefits.
Okay.
So the state is requiring us to fully fund that. We take approximately $200,000 to $250,000 every year in free cash towards our OPEB costs.
Okay.
I think it's in my budget memo, but I think it was like 22 million is our outstanding OPEB.
It's gone down a lot.
It's gone down a lot. A lot of it is because of investment income.
Right.
Similar to the retirement, when we went through the retirement board, on my retirement memo, we're required for the retirement assessment to pay an additional cost because they want that fully funded by 2040.
Mr. Cheney, Council Cheney.
so, are we getting to the point in time to do the ambulance and Medicaid billing in-house, or is it not advantageous?
It's not advantageous when we don't have the staff.
Okay, well, I didn't know.
Yeah, it's really comes down to staff. The chief does do some supplemental Medicaid
Right.
that he's able to, and he does it himself, which is a lot of work, and I think he brings in approximately 140 to 170,000 per year, just getting that Medicaid.
Thank you.
Okay. Any further discussion on either one of these items? Then I would entertain a motion to amend agenda item 9 to include
Do you want
1135 only,
9A and 9B?
and make it, yeah, split them into 9A and 9B, basically. Yes.
Okay, so moved.
Second.
So on,
You
yeah,
vote on it?
uh-huh, you're right, yes.
I'll vote.
Any discussion on the motion on the amendment? All those in favor? So on agenda item 9A, which is review and discuss FY 2027 town accountant budget 1135 in the amount of 289,100, well, now it's not, now the number's not there.
Yeah, so the 9A, the accountant budget.
$215,483. Entertain a motion to submit to town council as presented.
So moved.
Any further discussion on 1135? Not, all those in favor? On agenda item 9B, review and discuss the FY 2027 town accountant budget number 3135 in the amount of $73,650. Entertain a motion to submit to town council as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? Not, all those in favor? Moving on to agenda item number 10. We have the same issue with this one.
I'll make a motion that we split 10 to be 10A and 10B, to take up the assessor budget 1141, and then B to take up the assessor, the budget 3141.
Second.
Any discussion on that motion? All those in favor?
You just gotta split them up. You
So
can
on-
read it properly, it's okay.
On agenda item number 10A, review and discuss the FY 2027 town assessor budget number 1141 in the amount of $226,965. Entertain a motion to submit to town council as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is for 3 employees in the assessor's office, 2 clerks. We have Francine that works there and Chris Gonzalez, and then the assessor. So Francine is at max step, so she's there. Chris is going to be step 2 for 17 pay periods, and then move up to step 3. So that's his salary, and this is Jasmine's, again, splits thing. So it comes up to 5.71, and basically, again, it's the COLA, and then whatever steps they go into. And that's why it increases on the step. The step is what drives up the number a little bit higher. Okay? So,
Go ahead, if you,
no, did you have a question?
not, just keep moving on.
Salaries elected, that's for the 2 elected, and then appointed Jasmine, she is paid as the appointed assessor clerk. Longevity is just Francine, she's the only employee that's eligible for longevity. And then here, we have specialized services. We have the vision GIS that the assessor's office does to maintain the database, as well as OpenGov and also mapping that's shared with the planning department, correct? Planning department. Jasmine's here with any questions. And then we utilize Will Canoia. This number has dropped substantially, as again, just like with Christine, they're both in the midst of getting their certifications. So as they finish up their certifications, we're weaning that down. So Will comes in and provides some consulting throughout the year on any technical questions. It's a great resource to have. And then during, again, when we do the tax recap and get the tax bills out. Jasmine, this is for her, and also get her clerks certified. She has 2 classes left for her to get her certification as a Massachusetts Association of Assessors? Yeah, so she has 2 classes left for that. Oh, Massachusetts Association of Assessing Officers. She should get her certification, and those are the dues. So overall, the budget is 6.4% increase.
So, honey, so I'm confused about Dean in your office.
Mm-hmm.
Back a few years ago, Dean was coming in, I thought it was a combination of, it was all kinds of issues, from accounting to assessing to whatever. And that's still a pretty big salary up there, and.
For Dean?
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, in light of town manager salary and
Mhm.
others.
Mhm.
So I guess, was he not, and then Will came in part-time, which is small
Right.
now, I get that. Is there an end in sight to this, or is that gonna be a permanent position for an assistant in that office at that level?
we'll see.
Because that's
Yeah,
a
it's
high
open.
level, I mean,
Right,
compared
and
to other people that get paid.
you know, At least for this coming year, yes, and then we're gonna have to reevaluate how we wanna evolve the office. I mean, we are in the midst of the, Division of Local Services are doing a financial management study of the town to provide us recommendations on any changes throughout our overall governance of either the financial office, town manager's office, HR. Maybe to give us some recommendations about finance director, whether we need assistant town managers, what the assessor's office looks like. You raise your eyebrow, but the surrounding towns, Auburn currently less budget than us, less residents, has 1.5 assistant town administrators. The town of Oxford has, last I knew, at least 2, maybe 3 assistant town managers. We have nobody. So Dean, while that salary is a good salary, Dean runs an awful lot of not just financial. He is a resource for HR. And Nora's here. She's a resource for Jasmine when she has questions. He's a resource for the treasurer collector's office. We don't have a treasurer collector right now, so he's a resource for that. Also with the school department, he is working very, very closely with the school department right now as they transition off of their high-paid outside consultants that I'm questionable about some of their processes, where Dean's knowledge of school business officers and school budgets, when he can analyze the school budget and they come in and say, we want almost $1 million, because they say that's what the net school spending is, and he's able to analyze it and have that knowledge, knocks it down and says no, and cuts that $750,000 from what before the school district would just tell this town, here you go, without any oversight, right? They kept saying we were at minimum net school spending. When you look historically, we could prove that we were over net school spending every single year. So for that $75,000, he is well worth every penny that he gets.
I'm just checking to see what he's doing now, because
He's
it was
doing-
supposedly a short-term plan at one time.
Well, it'd be great if we had fully staffed, that everybody had certifications, and that that we're working and striving and supporting our staff to get certified every day. I mean, if you think Dean Yakaguchi does nothing,
I
that's
didn't
mistaken.
say that. Do not
But
put words in my mouth.
I'm not, but I'm just saying, I will defend that one
Because
forever.
I was just trying to figure out where he's fitting in now with, it seems like we are, you know.
Yeah, he's spending in a lot more plugging this.
It was
I
a
mean,
question.
Yeah, I
that-
know, it's a
that-
valid question, but I just wanna say,
And it was
you
a
know,
position that didn't exist in the many years I was around, so that's,
yeah, and before, when you had an assessor that was here for 15 years with a lot of experience, and
Mhm.
Mindy Ernst that was here with 15 years of experience, and Karen Hanois that was here with 15
I
years of
know.
experience, to find somebody that has a multitude of experiences throughout many levels and is certified not only with me now, with procurement, I mean, it's well, is there an end to this thing? Yeah, he'd love to retire tomorrow if he could, but he's staying here because he knows that we need it. If he didn't think we didn't need it, listen, he doesn't need to be here. If he could walk out tomorrow and say, I'm done and retired, he would be more than happy to. But there is a need every day. He is here working very hard. So yes, the need is here.
so you're a bit,
What's that?
nothing.
No.
good. You answered my question.
All right.
No, do I want to defend it? Yeah, because I see area towns that have upper level staff that I'm responsible as town manager for a multitude of things. And span of control, if you look at span of control, right, it helps make sure that we can offset.
Jack,
I
let's-
feel your
I know.
pain,
Move on.
Mr.
Okay,
Town
let's move on.
Manager.
I think
There
questions
are area
answered.
towns
Yeah.
also buying into a regional dispatch that
So-
will allow them to save $1 million. So, I mean, maybe we could do that and be progressive.
Let's not get off topic.
We are. I couldn't, it's first, I haven't done that in a while.
So,
Any further?
any further discussion? No further discussion, then all in favor of 11:41, okay. All right, 10B, review and discuss FY 2027 town assessor budget, account number 3141 in the amount of, I don't have this one,
$35,000.
$35,000. Entertain a motion to submit to town council as presented.
So,
Second.
Any discussion?
So this is we put $35,000 per year into account. It's a decrease because what happened several years ago, Will always had it in the account that every 3 years we have to do a reval, every 5 years we have to do the full reevaluation. We keep $35,000 per year, 35, 35, 35. When we do the 3 year, then you have the total cost for that 3 year. When Charlie Blanchard was the interim town manager, he said, oh, we don't need the money, cut all of it out. So we had to pay it with that. And then that year, when we brought Will aboard, or we had conversations with Will about serving as the interim, he said, oh, by the way, this is your 5-year period, and it wasn't funded. So we were paying, so this is what would go back, get us back into that every year, 35,000, and then in the 5th year, we have a higher amount, but it just kind of gets you back into that cyclical revaluation services.
Any discussion? Just a note, Councilor Dow has joined us. Okay, then, all those in favor? Unanimous. Agenda item number 11. Review and discuss the FY 2027 Treasurer Collector Budget, number 1145, in the amount of $458,687. Entertain a motion to submit to Town Council as presented.
Second. So in the collector's office, you have the principal collector, treasurer collector, that's vacant. Michelle was at top step 5. We're budgeting for this. Hopefully, it's very hard. We've had conversations today about even trying to get a treasurer collector. We thought we had one, but she declined to come interview after she received the job description. So we're in pursuit of that, but we're budgeting that at step 3. Tara and Nancy are both assistant treasurers. Nancy does assistant treasurer and also does all the insurance when it comes to property casualty insurance as well as payroll. Tara does benefits and treasurer. They're both at max step. Holly and Gil Marie serve in the tax collector office, and Callie does all the curbside water and sewer enterprise billing. So she does all the billing, utility billing. And that her salary is totally offset by the 3 enterprise funds. She is no longer sitting in the collector's office as of this week. Her office has moved to upstairs, so she's totally separate. So because her job is total billing for water, curbside, and her job's going to evolve with some further recommendations later this fiscal year to some additional duties. But she is paid by the enterprise fund. Sarah in this budget is listed as the parking clerk. That changed with the last vote that it's Holly Ford, so we'll update it and make sure that we get that for the final budget. Joanne, who's serving now as our interim treasurer collector, also serves as a financial opera analyst. Her partial part of that payment is out of the opera funds, which is budgeted within the opera, which is fortunate because as we go forward until we get a treasurer collector, it's a little more expensive for her position. In regards to the opera, as of today, the only 2 are probably the monuments as well as the kitchen for the senior center, which we executed the contract, so that'll be paid up. And then the last thing is getting the generator squared away at the community center. So she just filed a report for this March, so that will be winding down, and then she'll be off the books. In regards to ARPA, but until we find a treasurer collector, we're very fortunate that she was here as the ARPA administrator when Michelle left, because we had a trained treasurer collector to assume those duties. I'm gonna check this specialized services. I'm not sure, it was, my other book had it at 6,500, but increased to 16,000. It could be too because of specialized services. It could be because we may have to have some additional assistance because Michelle's leaving, and they may have put 10,000 for any outside consultant that we have to hire out of specialized services. That certainly would not be enough, but that could be the question. I saw that today. I wasn't sure what that happened, but I would recommend keeping it in there right now, and if it has to be changed when we go to the final budget. Advertise promos. She had recommended an increase. This was all recommendations of Michelle. Printing, Kelly Ryman for W-2s and the bills that we place up. These are the bonds for all our staff that are required to have bonds. Again, Michelle was listed here when this first passed, but Nancy still needs bonds as well. So regardless of who that person is, Michelle or Joanne, it's the treasurer collector's bonds. So she needs, I believe, 2 because she's the treasurer needs 1, and the tax collector needs a bond. So they both have to be bonded for their positions. Because she serves both, she has to be bonded for both. Any questions?
Any discussion?
So when you just said that number jumped and you started, that was something somebody else changed on you? Or you just did it before? I mean, it's your budget, I have to ask. I'm just
yeah, I couldn't find the note that we had, okay. But my original budget book had 6,500. And then when I saw it today, it was 65. My proposed budget when we went through it, I didn't see a note, but Michelle was the one that finally pushed it forward to the town manager, even though it says town manager. That was pushed forward after a bunch of meetings. So I recommend keeping it there because we will need it for the specialized services, unless we get a treasurer collector by the end of the year.
Well, if you could just figure that out at some point.
Yeah.
I'd be curious to know.
It has contracted services, so
right.
I believe it's for contracted services for some assistance in the treasurer collector's office. Okay. Overall, that budget increase is 0.18%.
Any questions, discussion? Not, all those in favor? Okay, item number 12. I think we should split these two as well.
I move that we split 12 into 12A and 12B, with 12A being 1161 and 12B being 1162.
So moved. Yeah.
Second.
Second did it. He made the motion.
Okay. Second. Okay.
We get 3. We'll all.
Okay. Any discussion on that amendment? If not, all those in favor? So, agenda item number 12, review and discuss the FY 2027 Town Clerk Elections Budget number 1161, in the amount of $228,820. Entertain a motion to submit to Town Council as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Town Manager?
Sorry about that. Overall budget increase is 0.78%. You have Maddie, who on July 1st goes to step 3. That was town council decision 2 years ago to move her up to the A9 level. Julie is the assistant town clerk, and Shauna is the other clerk in the office. This decreased only because Evelyn retired, So Evelyn was at max step, Shauna comes below, so the overall increase is only 1.16%. Because you have Maddie and Julie goes up the COLA, Maddie goes up the step plus the COLA, and Shauna will have the split payroll for that, just COLA increase and the step. Okay? Longevity, Maddie and Julie, you can see how long they were here. We thank them for their long service and 30 years and 32
Go
years.
back up
Yep,
to overtime.
over. Yeah, there's no overtime.
You're showing no money in overtime, but does that come under the election?
That comes under elections.
Okay, thank you.
R&M equipment, it's a $150 increase. That was for typewriters, right? Typewriters. Maddie and I had a conversation, the typewriters are older. It's hard to get typewriters because everything's old school, but she does need typewriters. She has looked with the vendor to try to see if we can purchase some more, but that's what we spend for replacing them. Specialized services, the dog licensing program, that's computerized, that's an increase in the dog licensing program. And outside of that, miscellaneous materials, we cut that because she didn't need that, 105,000, so, I'm 105,000, wish it was 105,000. $105 was cut down to zero. Conference and meetings, just a $50 decrease. And then, that's it.
Councilor Daniel?
Thank you, Mr. Chair, through you. The assistant clerks don't need to be bonded. It's just the clerk.
Any other discussion? Okay, not, all those in favor? Unanimous. Item 12B, review and discuss the FY 2027 Town Clerk Elections Budget number 1162 in the amount of $130,955. Entertain a motion to submit to Town Council as presented.
Second.
Town Manager?
Thank you. You're gonna see this is a substantial increase of 125%. And the reason for that is the number of elections that we have this year. Because we have the town election, state primary, state primary, and state elections. So,
September, November, June.
so we have 3 elections, so that's simply a cost of that. And minimal, some increase for the voting machines and the handicapped and programming for that, that's the census. And outside of that,
Is that advertising and promotion?
what's that?
Advertising and promotion?
Yeah, cost, but we have to pay the cost of
For
it.
posting words and stuff, okay.
Yeah.
Just, I didn't know what.
$50 per
You went too
election.
quick.
I'm sorry. So,
I thought you were just putting ads in the paper, come vote.
yeah,
Can-
no. What's that?
We go back to 2024, I'd like to see 2024.
2024's budget?
Yeah.
On the budget itself. So that would be elections. So this right here, so FY '23, and then FY '24, FY '25, every other year.
So the 2024 election would have been an FY '25, right? Or 24?
The election was in
November.
November of
24.
24.
So it would be.
FY '25.
Yeah.
Okay,
FY
so
25, very
that's
good.
what I'd like to
Yeah.
see.
So
I guess that might.
Huh?
Okay,
Okay?
there it is, fiscal year 20.
Yeah, so. Okay?
Well,
Huh? Oh,
I guess.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, go back.
I'm too fast. So you want, okay.
Okay, so it would have been presidential year, which would have been a state election as well as town election and primaries. And we budgeted 83.7.
Yeah.
We're going up to 139.
Do you know what that is?
No, I didn't.
I'd say kind of,
No elections.
I just want to know what the cost of
Yeah.
different services.
Maddie presented the budget to us. so she would have to-
Councilor Dow?
Well, Councilor Chair, do we have that money? Where they coming from? Where we're gonna use the increase 130? Where we getting that money from?
It's throughout cuts, whatever we raise in revenue, it's a balance of revenue and cuts in other budgets, state aid increase, things like that.
So you gotta look for it.
What's that?
You already have them in place, or you gotta look for
Wait.
them? You're gonna get them.
No, we already, the budget that we present is balanced budget with the estimated revenues, estimated expenses. So it's balanced.
Steve,
Councilor Chan?
where's the overtime?
It comes in seasonal positions.
Is that seasonal positions that overtime is,
Yeah,
okay?
seasonal positions.
It's going up a lot.
Huh?
Seasonal positions
So-
is where the increase is.
So-
Yeah.
Right.
Police officers are very expensive too. That increases too.
Special services.
Yeah.
So I was just trying to, I'm trying to explain.
No, it's a fair
we're
question. I
only-
mean, that's,
We're only 2 fiscal years
Away from the last one.
difference,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and
No,
we've
that's
got
a
a
fair question,
substantial
yeah.
increase.
Yeah.
So, just trying to figure out why.
if you wanna put a hold on it, I can come back with another one on that one and get some further information for you and really do a deep dive.
And you can bring the answer to the
What's that?
council meeting when we bring it up.
Yeah, when we,
Have the answer for us.
you know, that would be one that I would, if it comes back, right, based on the you know, that I could adjust it, we could adjust it down and make the change, when the final budget goes before the town council. Because when the final budget goes before town council, you have the option. So at this level, the town manager recommends his budget. If there's areas that there are recommended for either cuts or additions, I take those recommendations, and then I can make those changes and then present the budget as those changes are made at the floor. If I say, no, I'm not gonna make the changes, then the council can make those changes, but I will definitely we'll definitely take a deep dive on it and take a pass on that one.
Okay.
'Cause I see
would
your- I
appreciate
see your
that.
point, yeah.
I mean, it is a substantial increase
Yeah.
over,
Yeah,
Yeah.
we had 44,000 here, so,
you know, presidential year election.
Yeah.
I mean, that was, I would expect that to be
Right.
at least level. Or if
Yeah.
an increase,
Yeah,
slight
that's-
increase.
Didn't they have like, mail-in ballots and early voting and all that?
yeah.
So FY '25, the election registration budget was 121,960.
That's not what I saw.
That's all, you know, we have 85 here.
We have 85,000.
That's for seasonal positions,
Right.
so you're looking at the overall budget. Oh yeah, so this is 90,000 for this. But I see your point, we budgeted 85, but only spent 44. Right, so we'll double check that number right there.
Okay, appreciate that.
It'll be on the seasonal positions, the rest would be the same, but seasonal positions.
So you wanna make a motion, bring it up and something, what you bring back, or no, you wanna
No.
bring it back here?
What I'll do is, I'll review it and then make the necessary adjustments and have it presented at the full council when we go that way. If you recommend, unless you wanna bring it back in a future meeting, that's fine too.
Well, you can always vote no. You don't recommend that.
Yeah, you
And the
can vote-
reality is, then the council gets to vote yes or no up there. This is just a recommendation.
Yeah.
And people, and you would say, well, we didn't recommend that
Right.
because we had too many questions. That's all. This is
Okay.
just a recommendation, Mr.
Right.
Committee. So, we don't like the budget, we tell him, he fixes it, you guys decide what to
Can
do.
you ask Maddie if she has anything to say about it?
I would like to, we did ask Maddie.
Yeah. No, yeah,
And her numbers seemed off, different.
Yeah, her numbers were different.
so,
Yeah,
yes,
so I
so
would,
if I could, Mr. Chairman, Mrs. Clements' comments are correct. This meeting is, I make a recommendation, you can say yes or no, or we're gonna hold on it, town manager, go look at it, bring it back up at council. So you can say, no, we don't agree with it. This is the time for us to take a look at that and come back with that.
And if I may, again, subcommittee is so that the people have a chance to look at the same information and get as much as they can before a town council meeting, so,
And we still have the public hearing that's gonna come forward.
yeah,
So
so there's
the
a lot
public
of.
hearing, and my goal is to have the public hearing, not the same day as the council meeting, is to have the public hearing on Thursday night, and then the council meeting would be on Monday night.
Again, chance for
More
any
dialogue here.
reconsideration, yeah.
And the way this is going this year, unlike the last 2 fiscal years, we're well ahead of the game. So that's why we're trying to put everything together, get the notice out, have the public hearing, like I said, on a Thursday night, council will come in on a Thursday night, do the public hearing. That gives ample opportunity, rather than say, okay, now before the meeting, do a public hearing, not have any conversations, and be able to vote on it.
we can put it to a vote tonight.
Yeah, absolutely,
And-
yep.
and-
We already have a motion.
Okay, so there's a motion on the floor.
Dave, one
Council
question.
Chair.
The 597, that's when that was put together in March 31st, and we still got the remaining year to go, am I correct? So could that put that number up?
No, the only election we have left is the June election.
Or you're
This
still
is
gonna
just-
have an expense, that 2297 is gonna change,
This right here?
right? Isn't that what,
Yeah, that's what's budgeted for the June election.
okay.
And we're not doing, there's no early voting in town hall, and all
Okay,
that, so.
all right, I understand, thank you.
All right, any further discussion? Okay, if not, all those in favor?
What we voted on now?
We're
What we
voting.
just talked about.
This, on this one here.
Correct, I understand, but any motion, like to bring it up with
I have-
any description, or no, we'll bring it up the way it is?
Bring it up the way it is.
Yeah.
And
The
then-
town manager will fix it.
Okay,
Okay.
so,
Yep.
So,
all those in favor? Okay, all those opposed? 3. Okay, 1 to 3.
you meant to do the other proposal.
I know, that's why I asked the question.
It's okay, well, I made a motion
Yeah,
to.
throw it away.
bring it back. I don't know, because we're the prevailing side.
It's all
You're
right.
fine.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
Yeah, but
Okay.
that's what we all hesitated the first.
What's next?
All right, that was 12B. All right. Agenda item number 13. Review and discuss the FY 2027 data processing budget number 1155 in the amount of $510,694. Entertain a motion to submit to town council as presented.
So moved.
Discussion, town manager?
Thank you.
I'll go back to the days when I first became a counselor, of how much we spent on data processing and where that has grown throughout the years. Salary and wages is Victor, who does a great job with just his own, he's my only employee in the IT and the number of things that we have going on in IT. We're very fortunate to have Victor here. So this would be him moving to step 5, and the COLA raise. No overtime, because he's the only staff and he's salaried. The is an outline of all the financial software. So for Munis, and Victor is here to go through anything that you have questions on. We have the Munis, which is our financial software and support. We also have Paystays, that's at $126,000. And we do have managed services for like our email, firewall monitoring, cloud, all that. So this is the total budget of $401,000. It's a 3.3% increase. We do look at all Munis products that we have to make sure that they're used. Vic probably doesn't know this yet, but we had a conversation earlier today with Joanne about the new requirements that the federal government is placing based on legislation that was approved and signed into law by the president relative to the Fair Labor Standards Act. And because of overtime and paychecks are gonna have to be segmented with what is overtime, what is double time, what is triple time. So we will take a look at possibly Munis to reach out to Munis to talk about whether we can do that within that software, or many towns are going out to outsourcing for their payroll function that integrates with Munis. That would track all that overtime, plus generate the W-2s, because we do that in-house now, generate W-2s, paychecks, do time recordings and all that. So we're gonna take a look at that. That just came up today, so Victor, so we'll take a look at that. So that's on the software. We are looking, we're not talking about enterprise funds right now, but we have MuniLink that we use that we put in place for the curbside. We are just now gonna complete we have a proposal that we're going forward with to build out the curbside trash and put that into Munis with the other utility billing, which should save us, because we already pay for the utility billing. The product that we were sold the bill of goods on doesn't work as seamlessly as we had hoped, or were told that would be. So we'll look to have Munis for all our utility billing, and that will be what Cali does as well. Yes. So there's a lot of software that we generate, security software, and every day somebody's trying to get into our system. I don't know, hopefully none of you got an email that said it was from me today saying that this hasn't been paid and click this box. So, I mean, it's constantly happening, and Victor's on top of it, but we have to have those good firewalls. Then we have other stuff like our alarm system for here, Spectrum, cloud hosted, the town website, which does need some work, but it's another project for another day, because Victor's in the middle of the fiber optic build that we're gonna put to connect town buildings. So we got it. So if there's any questions, Victor's here on the software questions.
Council Down.
Thank you, Chair, to you. When you speak about the bill, we have different online bill payment. You're gonna be able to convert it to one, or no, have nothing to do with that? When you say the trash and the sewer and water, they're all different online.
Well, right now it's separate,
Yeah.
and the banking system that Michelle chose is separate, different. But once they combine and move it into utility billing and Munis, that should be one banking system and.
And is that what's included here now, to be one, or no?
We're already paying for utility billing, so that's why the migration to include trash in that, because we're already paying for it in here. So that would eliminate the MuniLink portion that we're paying for in enterprises, I believe, or something.
Yeah.
So we'll have more money back to us after you eliminate and added the trash to the other software? We don't need it anymore?
That money would come out of the enterprise. We're contracted through February, so we're gonna have a dual for the first 6 months, because as we build it out. So that build out, we're targeting, we have a very aggressive schedule to have that. So the first quarter of billing, then we would notify the other company saying that we're terminating the services with them effective February, because we renewed in February. So the problem was, when we built out the curbside on software, Victor really tried to get Munis to build it out, right? They would build it out, and they just were not supportive, just like a lot of towns. But it's a good, it's a financial software package. But
And the timetable was a little rough too.
tight. So with this, the consultant that we have to do this project will take all our data, will build out everything in Munis, right? They're able to build it out, and then they would just upload it, because it's able to upload. Because we already have the utility billing program, they'll be able to upload it. She just did a conversion for the town of Ludlow, where they went from a different billing system to Munis for curbside trash. So they're really on top of it to you know, we would not, the one thing we will not do is put trash on water sewer billing at the same bill, because of parcels and ID numbers. Sarah, the tax collector, they don't wanna, it gets too confusing. It's confusing now with that, with CommuniLink uses the same account numbers, so it's gonna clean this all up for us.
And how about that when you're late on the payment, somebody behind, you have to go on a special website to make the payment, that will be able to do it on the town website? With the interest included on it, like late fee and stuff, that software will generate all that? And we don't have to go on a different
Well, right now with MuniLink, I believe it's all through MuniLink.
Right.
And so it would, I think like talking about like sort of like excise or whatever goes to another service because it's late. I don't think that's how that would work for trash.
Yeah.
Because trash
I'll
gets
double check
attached.
that for you.
You know,
Yeah, I know what you mean, yeah.
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 Because what happens is if you don't pay it, they can lien your real estate.
No, I understand, but it's like a week late, you can't either come pay it here in town. You gotta go online to pay it.
Yeah.
You can't either come here, like, I understand it's gonna be late fee and interest, but why that software would not generate?
Yeah.
You're late, you can't pay here.
We used to be able to pay online with that, so we'll double check that again. Still can't do
If you're
that.
late,
I think it's the
sometimes
opposite.
just come in and you pay the extra.
I think it's the opposite. I think if you're late, you can't pay online.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of the bill either you can't either pay them here, you gotta go on a special.
So I'll double check that for you.
Okay.
I know you had brought it up before, but I thought it was all taken care of. but-
Yeah.
Councilor Cheney.
One more.
Oh, you got, sorry, Councilor Dow, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
The building department, that included that software as well there too,
It does,
correct?
yeah, right.
Are we gonna change, except, I know we have issue with the cash money,
Yeah.
whatever, are we gonna be able to put it with the the collector there and get a receipt? Because it's not fair, people can't pay cash, and if they're gonna write a check, they're gonna be charged another $25, so what the point having software and charge our residents extra money,
Yeah.
what it's gonna take 2 minutes to walk in here?
Right, so,
That's more of an operational.
operational,
thing,
right.
not-
Michelle did not wanna do that, pretty much. She was very adamant about not doing that. Now that Michelle's not here, and she is the treasure collector, if she said,
You're the manager.
no, yes, I'm the manager, but a treasure
Who's the boss
collector,
step in this town?
a treasure collector,
Yeah.
a treasurer who manages the money, she has to approve how you accept cash, right? If she says, I'm not accepting cash this way,
Okay.
that is by law, that is her responsibility. So,
I'm just discussing it.
yeah,
with
no,
you.
I
Don't take it as an
I'm not
argument.
gonna argue with you,
Okay.
but,
So what I'm saying is, when town of Southbridge was found, what year was found town of Southbridge?
1800?
1800. So from 1800 to Michelle come here, everybody get the cash there, and they can pay their bills just on Michelle's term. She wanna flip the town of Southbridge upside down because she doesn't like to be responsible for the cash.
No.
Life
she-
has changed.
So,
A lot of
I mean, I'm not saying,
Right.
but at least they can come and collect it here.
Right, so we'll talk, I had talked to Sarah about this before, right? Now that we're reorganizing the water sewer
Cut.
billing, we went
Could-
upstairs, so yes,
can we
open
get,
gov.
can we get back onto the budget item,
We
please?
are on the budget. We're gonna approve
Well,
that software
we're talking,
bill,
we're
Mr.
talking about
Chair.
data processing.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah,
so,
Chair, excuse me, we are on the budget because we're gonna approve the money for the software to use at the
Yes.
building department.
Right.
And this is the best time to discuss that. You know, either we approve it I explain what I want, it might happen, might not. Because every time we talk about it, wait for the budget season. And the
Well-
budget season now, you know, yes, no, what's the point?
No, no, if I may,
go ahead.
on the open gov has no bearing on whether you accept cash or not, because if you had paper permits and the treasurer said, I'm not accepting cash down there, even if you had paper, they could say, I'm not accepting cash, I'm not allowing cash to be there, regardless of the software, whether it's software or paper permits. That's her decision that she didn't want to have it done. So, again, we will look at, I definitely.
But when you don't have the software, they're gonna accept the papers by handwritten and all that, so it's not online to make the payment either then. With that software, you're doing everything online right now. I know we need to catch up with the technology, I'm not
Yeah.
against that, But we need to make it easy on our residents too. You write a check, another $25 on top of it. I mean, not a lot of people don't have a card
Yeah.
or they wanna pay online. I mean,
Any further discussion on data processing?
I'm not sure if it's data processing or it's even got to do with the budget. The fiber coming into town like we wanted to do to the municipal buildings
Yeah.
and all, that's still ongoing.
That's ongoing, yeah.
That's,
So-
yeah, that's,
Where does that show in the budget for money? Not on the data processing or,
No, that's a cable, that's a capital program to install everything.
yeah,
Then once it's installed, it's part of your spectrum and
well, whatever service.
services that we use.
so we'll see that under the capital budget.
Well, no, we
For the
already have the
build.
money allocated for that, for the build.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, thank you.
Okay. Councilor Daniel?
Thank you, Mr. Chair, through you. As far as the data processing goes, this is all in excess, it all comes here, but you cover the entire town, right? With the firewalls and the software uses, and it's not just the town hall building.
Depends on what it is. Some yes, some no.
All right.
So, for example, like our firewall is for town hall because we don't have a network connecting to DPW. Well, bad example. We do connect to DPW in a different way, but like fire, the other community center, we're not
Mhm.
connected to them physically,
Mhm.
so the firewall doesn't have anything to do with it. Which is why we're doing the fiber build to eventually be all interconnected, so that those services will also accommodate those locations. So right now, firewall and the monitoring, all that stuff is here, which was actually renewed in a previous project earlier this year, or later last year. And so that's all been operated equipment,
Mhm.
but it services town and DPW in a sense, because they use internet service to come and connect to us for their server.
All right, so then if I'm correct, this line item will eventually cover the whole town, if you get done what you want to get done.
Yes, there might be, there's further discussions with GDS, who's our managed service provider, on that end of it, because they might need, we will need, with the fiber build, additional equipment at the other locations that could communicate and connect the services. So there'll be a cost to that. But we're trying to kind of build it into this whole rent.
Okay, thank you.
one more thing.
Councilor Down?
All these grant we got for that, the fire, no, nothing cover those stuff, the grant we got before?
It is, part of it is a grant that we have, for that. It won't be enough for everything, but it'll get us started.
Thank you.
Anything further? Okay, if not, all those in favor? Yes? Okay. Unanimous. Agenda item number 14. Review and discuss the FY 2027 cable budget number 1159 in the amount of $211,027. Entertain a motion to submit to town council as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Town Manager?
So cable budget, overall is a 0.19% increase. We went through and adjusted some of these items because subscribers are down, so we have to manage that account as best we can. There's 2 full-time employees and 1 per diem. So Charles and James are both at the maximum step. So that's what I have.
That's covered by cable,
It is covered by cable,
by the,
by the,
The,
that amount is
the
getting,
non-contract contract?
yeah, that number is getting smaller and smaller of what we're getting for reimbursements. So we're right on the edge right now.
Can
Oh, go ahead.
I get the 2025 budget number?
Okay. What number is that?
1159.
1155.
11:59.
1159?
5-9.
11.
11. going the wrong direction.
Wrong direction.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Twenty 145. So it's,
We reduced staff that year,
mhm.
so we had additional staff, part-time, per diems.
You have the extra person.
We had the extra.
Okay, so it's a staff issue?
That was
I'm
a
just,
staff
I'm
issue.
just
Yeah,
looking
but
at the
still, that's
actuals
still a
versus,
lot.
actuals versus the budget amount. And well, it doesn't look like we've come close to hitting the budget amount
On
in the last couple of years.
140?
Well, we had like budget is 210.
Overall.
Go back to, what's
I
2025?
forgot those line items.
25 is right here.
Okay, so the budget was 145.5. Right? And we got 168. Is what we actually paid. Actually, was the actual expenditure. So that year we were over budget on that. 2026, original budget is 210,000. And the actuals don't look like they're gonna hit that.
For,
Well, it looks like they're gonna be more like 2025, right? Actuals right now, I mean, as of the date this was
well, this,
printed,
but this,
138,000.
this right here,
Yeah,
we have 7 payrolls that have to be posted in here.
okay,
So if you take out the payrolls, this is how much you pay per,
yeah.
5,200 per
So, I
week.
mean, so
times
is that
7
gonna, is it gonna come close to the 210?
For the,
I just wanna,
for the whole year?
Yeah.
For the overall budget?
yeah, you think the actual's gonna meet the 210 that we
Go back to
budgeted?
those numbers.
Well, you have fringe benefits that go in there as well,
What is
What is
that?
that? Yeah.
because it's within the cable budget.
What
Yeah,
is
but
it?
what is it? What are you giving the money to? What's it do?
Says fringe benefits on behalf of E-Cable TV Committee.
I didn't vote anything. There's no cable TV.
It's been year over year, so that's been
Can I see the? Can I see the line item budget? I mean,
fringe benefits. So that's 23.
okay, but
Well, it's almost like an enterprise fund, right? So it'd be,
right, but
Pay
can
the
I
fringe.
see the line items?
oh,
Hey, where's the budget?
all the line item budget right here.
Okay. Scroll down. But what are you spending the money on?
It just says fringe benefits, so.
So
Is
sick
it-
time? I mean, what's the fringe, I mean, what is, can you tell me what's it being spent on? How do you pay that out?
Is it the, I think, you know what fringe benefits could be is that the rent to the town?
Oh, that's,
for the use
it's
for the-
possible.
It may-
Why would it be called fringe?
Well, I don't know why it's called fringe benefits, but
Well, it's a cost, we have
It
to
is a
pay the
cost, and
town.
they do
Yeah,
pay the
actually,
towns.
that could be it.
I think that is the cost
It's
for the
such
town.
the strangest, I don't remember.
And you know why it got
It's been
reduced?
too long, I
You
haven't.
know why
had
it got reduced is because we took one of the offices away,
Right,
right? So
Right.
that's why it's reduced from the pay, that's what it is.
yeah, you guys make out, I mean, the little
Yeah, they
rooms
pay
up
us
there,
rent
we
for the
pay
use of the
you.
building.
Oh, we,
Very-
yeah, the
they-
ratepayers pay you.
The
I
ratepayers
still,
for the rent of the building,
I
because that could
still
be,
fe-
that could be anywhere.
yeah, they could go off campus and rent something, but it's hard to do that,
Yeah,
so.
that's what that is, yes.
Mhm.
That is the rent.
So, to my point I've made in the past, I mean, this cable TV could exist somewhere else.
Yeah, they
Not
don't have to
at
be
the
here.
beck and call of this town committee, council, or the town hall, or
Yeah,
anything.
could be located anywhere.
I tried to make that point before, and I was told, it's full of it.
Yeah.
But the reality is, it is an independent entity, and by such, yes, the manager is the licensee and all that, and, but they run independent of what, you're not supposed to go in and say, do this, because they run for people who subscribe to cable.
Yeah.
And it's good that they do put our stuff on. It's very good. I've always supported the fact that they run meetings and that. But that's not their job, their only job. Their job is to also make sure all their viewers are happy with what they see.
They have 3 channels.
What?
They have 3 channels.
They have 3 channels and they're supposed to have community stuff and, yeah, and they can, look, they didn't have education for a long time because nothing was happening to help them with education, so you can only run on so many people. Anyway, I just was in there for a while and saw how that all worked, and I don't understand why we still don't have that's a whole nother story, contract. Why we can't say just because you don't have subscribers to cable, you can't have subscribers to, their internet is running through our town. Without those internet lines in our town, they wouldn't be charging people $100 a month for internet. Yet that doesn't count. Phone and internet don't count on on what's going on when they, in the contract.
There's gonna be a lot less coming on pretty soon too.
Right, but the internet is what people use in order to yeah, what do you say, watch it, stream. So without that, you know what I'm saying, it's like they're taking away from us, and that's where you have to fight with the FCC and.
I think Charlie told us that we were being affected because of the amount of people that have gone away from the.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I said,
exactly
they're
right.
called the ratepayers
Right.
who actually, but you can be a ratepayer in cable and still stream, but you also have cable, you know? But that's a problem that needs to be addressed overall, it's not just Southbridge who has that problem. Why are we letting them in our town doing what they do? They run our
This is,
streets.
I mean, in a way, it's kind of its legacy from the 1980s, you know.
It's legacy from the
And-
'70s, actually, I think,
yeah.
the first contract, where I
So,
have
but
a
it's-
copy of the
but-
first time,
but-
I don't have
But,
it.
I mean,
I still have it.
right, well, the subscribers, they're dwindling because everybody is buying internet, but.
Right, but
They're
it's
buying
still
internet.
Spectrum who uses our
Right.
community. Why aren't we getting a piece of
who
that?
uses a-
Why is our budget going down for this? So that's all, I'm saying that's a fight which, I spoke with FCC, I remember, fresh out of surgery that time you called. I spoke with, there's a contract, they haven't even bothered. Where's the slap for them not finalizing the contract with us? So it sounds something to be pursued, I
Okay.
wasn't on cable, and I'm not pursuing it personally, but maybe someday. I'll try again.
Any-
Anyway, just saying,
Any
we
further-
deserve more.
I agree. Any further discussion on this budget? Okay, if not, then all those in favor? Agenda item number 15, review and discuss the FY 2027 personnel budget, 1910, in the amount of $5,999,177. Entertain a motion to submit to town council as presented.
So moved.
Okay. We are budgeting $50,000 this year for sick leave buyback. There may be 2 estimated retirements this year, most likely in the fire department. So we budgeted $50,000 for that.
Does that include police and,
Any police, but there's no,
teachers?
no, not teachers. Teachers is, so every year when we build the budget, we go out and ask, to departments, are there any anticipated retirements, this year? And we budget that. This year, we have enough, but we had a firefighter that retired much earlier than anybody thought he would. So we had to pay any sick leave and all that by contract. Huh?
I think that sick leave buyback thing, vacational, I think that is just the biggest
Part of their contract.
boondoggle or whatever you wanna call it.
Yeah, so. Retirement assessment, you'll see that that's gone up, about 200 and, that's a 5% increase. That is, the retirement board sends us a memo that says this is what the retirement assessment is for the town of Southbridge. That is, when I said the retirement assessment, that is unfunded that we're required to pay. So out of that whole budget, approximately $2.7 million of that is what the actual retirement, if people are retired, the 2.4, it's in my budget memo. The additional cost is for that unfunded portion that the state is requiring us to pay and have full assessment by, or full paid off by 2040. The town retirement board has adopted, and that's through them, that's their decision, we can't have any say on that. They have They have it, our schedule set up to have this fully funded by 2032.
8 years?
Huh?
8 years earlier?
Yeah. Is that 8 years? Yeah, 8 years. So that is a conversation that I've had with the retirement board. That is solely their decision, and it's hampering many municipalities. Had it not been for that, if they lessened that, that's 2 million plus that we could reduce tax rate, we could hire firefighters, we could, you know, do a multitude of things with that, but we are mandated to make that payment. So we have no choice in that. You know, I know there's some towns, I've talked to the mayor of Holyoke to see if we can, because Mayor of Holyoke really puts a message on that, and that's really what brought it home for me when I saw it, was seeing what that dollar amount is and what you could do for your municipality if you had that ability to do that. So we've had conversations with the retirement board.
But the problem, the town's never paid their fair share until they were pushed to this.
Not just Southbridge.
Oh, it's
No,
all
no,
over
we're
Massachusetts.
all-
Massachusetts, yeah,
I-
Massachusetts.
We're actually in a good place,
Yeah.
and it helps your bond rating get up and everything when you are,
Oh, yeah,
when
yeah.
you're not
So,
owing in.
because we're
swimming
making
in the-
regular payments on the OPEB, you know, and all that, it does affect the bond. So, I mean, that's where it's at there.
I thank you, everyone.
We'll see. But that's our assessment.
I paid for it.
Medicare is our employee Medicare. This salary reserve, 511. This year it was 538. Next year it's 511. Salary reserve is those monies that we have set aside for collective bargaining agreements. All right. So that is set aside for simply for any collective bargaining adjustment between if it's negotiated based on negotiations either this year, and then we have to add it in for next year.
Where does the COLAs show?
The COLAs are all built into all the salaries, so we built in 2.5 on all the salaries.
Oh, okay.
So we already
No,
built
I
those
mean
in.
retirement COLAs. Where does that show in your
Retirement
budget?
COLAs
Yeah,
is in the retirement assessment, so that's all part
so
of the
that's part of the
retirement.
$5 million bucks.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, they're the ones that vote on that retirement assessment, so that's all part of that assessment, yes.
So the Medicare, the
Yeah.
Medicare amount is the amount, is the employer portion of the Medicare
Employer, yes.
tax
Yeah, correct.
that we're paying on our current employees.
Yeah,
Okay.
correct. And that's based on the
Oh.
employees and,
Steve, if I can ask, how
Yeah.
about the insurance, like my MedX?
mhm.
I pay half, the town pays half. Where does that show in the retirement insurance? Is that into the group?
No, it's into the
Group
group.
life and group health insurance?
That's in the group health insurance.
Okay.
And then we have an educational benefits per our rules and regulations to offer tuition reimbursement. So Victor takes a lot of classes and, you know, other employees. So that's the increases that we have there.
Any additional discussion? Right. Not, all those in favor? Unanimous. If you want to discuss FY 2027 Group Health and Life Insurance Budget number 1911 in the amount of $7,180,232, entertain a motion to Town Council as presented.
So moved. Second.
Mr. Town Manager?
So, the rate increase is 9.9%, I believe it was.
9.52.
9.52%. So that amount is built into those employees that are here. Employees may come on or off the program, so we build in additional employees to come on. The school, additionally, we also built in employees to come on that. It's for budgeting purposes, we don't want to be cut short. Because of our plan and the fact that our plan is can we come in a better product than our neighboring towns. We used to be in competition all the time with neighboring towns because of the 50-50 to 60-40. Now we're at 70-30. We're in the Maya plan, which you know, yes, last year was huge, this year, that's not great, 9.52, I mean, that's not great, but Charlton, Dudley, those in Hampshire County saw almost 50% increase in their health insurance rates because of the plan. So we're a lot more attractive when it comes to health insurance. We're not having a lot of people where they used to say back in the day, I can't afford the health insurance. We're now very competitive with health insurance. So we're actually seeing some people that if they may work here, their spouse works in another neighboring town, they're coming onto our insurance at open enrollment. So that's the basic number on that. The school department was questioning our numbers at 4.7 million. Dean and Nor, Tara as well, I believe, did a really good dive on who's on our health insurance, what their trends were coming on and off, and we saw more employees than the school thought it would be. So we're comfortable with the numbers. That could be adjusted mid-year based on trends, but that's our budget recommendation for right now.
Any further discussion?
Right.
Council Daniel?
Yeah, what's the 5,000 for Boston Mutual?
That's life insurance.
That's like one person? And,
No,
no?
it's not like what I have and maybe a share.
It's just a term thing.
I'm actually not sure.
I don't think there's a whole lot of us left. on
Yeah,
it.
there isn't a lot of employees who are on that plan, and we pay 50/50, so that could be very much.
Yeah. Like I have Boston Mutual
Me
from
too.
my employment when we got hired, so, you know,
I got mine going back 1975.
yeah, so that's what that is.
Okay.
Any further discussion? Not all those in favor? Unanimous. Agenda item number 17. Review and discuss the FY 2027 general insurance budget, number 940000, in the amount of $1,157,000. Entertain a motion to town council as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Town manager?
So general insurance budget is for all our property casualty liability insurance, and showing up. I apologize because I'm having problems with this right now. That was what, 194,000. So yeah, workman's comp, that we have to do a workman's comp audit every year, so that's based on the numbers that we have for employees that are not covered under injured on duty, it's workman's comp. So you have workman's comp town is the 125, workman's comp school is an increase of 23%. And that again is based on, what year, how many years they go back for that, the previous year? The previous year, so they'll do an audit on the previous year, and our premium will be adjusted based on the previous year's claims. Unemployment,
They use different.
yeah, it's expensive.
Just increase the wage or just add more staff?
It's based on wages, because wages have gone up. It's increased because the school had added a lot of staff, now they'll be cutting, but they added staff, we added a few employees, but it's a combination of, you must be familiar with your workers' comp, right? So yeah, it's raises and staff, salaries and all that, so. Unemployment, we are increasing that to $86,000. That's based on past trends, plus with possible layoffs in the school department.
So we pay that? School don't pay that?
Well,
It's-
we split,
We split it.
we split it.
And then what we do is, so it shows in our budget, but any cost that we have goes to net school spending.
Okay.
So when they do the
That's
Schedule
what- that was
19,
the next-
so this is all carried in our budget, right, on the town side. But then when we do our Schedule 19, those are the costs that the town contributes to education. So that goes into the Schedule 19 cost.
Okay.
So when we did and that'll be explained during the school budget by the school district, I'm sure, when they recommend their budget. When we set that, they had, I think my memo showed that they requested a higher amount than us. That was based a lot on the insurance. They thought should be $500,000 less than what we were carrying. So because our number says we're gonna contribute more to the insurance, based on that number, that goes into your administrative Schedule 19 cost. And again, that was very good. Deductibles, any deductibles that we have to pay throughout the year. IOD, that is for any fire or police officers that are injured in the line of duty. 111F claims for that. And then our insurance premium for the school, for that property insurance. So you have property insurance for the town and the insurance premium for the schools.
So-
Once we get our payment schedule, because our rate actually decreased, there may be a slight offset, and then what would happen is, if that's the case, when we revisit the budget, when we set a tax rate, if we have some adjustments we can make based on that time, we can recapture some of that.
So the
Councilor Chamberlain.
indemnification cost of the police and fire,
The what?
the indemnification insurance,
IOD.
IOD. This policy is only to supplement really payments, because under IOD, the town is responsible for the payments, but this is to help the town make those payments, am I correct?
So we paid into it directly, and then it's almost like a reimbursement, and the same thing works for workers' comp. It's the town pays the employee for the time that they're out,
Correct.
and then we get the payment back. It's kind of supplement that.
Any further discussion? Not all those in favor? Unanimous. Is 18, is that two separate accounts?
There's 3 accounts, so those are all boards and commissions. And I apologize, we had set this up, what's that?
I think I'm just trying to, we got the email with the other, but it's hard to pull it up.
So you have the licensing board is 1178, historical commission, and zoning board of appeals. So zoning board of appeals is $250, that's what we give them every year.
All right, let me just, 1176 and 1178 are the ones that
No, it goes, it's a dash in between there, so it's 1176 through 1178.
okay, 1176.
So it should be right in line.
You find a way better than me.
I got 1176.
You got it?
You got it, zoning board of
Oh, you're
appeals.
a
So,
good man.
I'd entertain a motion for 3 separate items on this.
Second.
Okay, so we'll do 18A, review and discuss FY 2027 zoning board of appeals budget number 1176 in the amount of $250. Entertain a motion to town council as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Okay.
So,
Manager.
again, zoning board of appeals, $250, it's just general expenses if they have. We give them nominal amounts of money.
Any further discussion? All those in favor? Okay. 18B, review and discuss FY 2027 historical commission budget number 1177 in the amount of $500.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Manager?
Same.
Okay.
nominal amounts.
Any further discussion? All those in favor? And 18C. We will discuss the FY 2027 licensing board budget number 1178 in the amount of $500. Entertain a motion to town council as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Same thing.
Any discussion? All in favor? Item 19, review and discuss the FY 2027 debt service budget, number 1710, in the amount of $3,144,639. Entertain a motion to submit to town council as presented.
So moved. Second.
Are you on debt? Yeah.
We're not gonna do the planning,
So what?
the 1179,
We did that on the planning problem. I think that's the one you're talking about, right?
It's not on the it's not on the agenda.
No, because it was in the order with the rest.
Yeah, some of the departments go in and out, so based on it. General government goes different subcommittees.
Or 1161.
So this is debt. This is the debt that we have for this coming fiscal year. This is just general fund debt, not water or sewer. Those would come under the water and sewer accounts for the debt. This is all what we have. We have when they purchase the building, these are long-term debts that are coming off or going through. And then you'll see the fire station and the roads are bans. So the town council had authorized a $10 million borrowing for roads. So we borrow money for roads, approximately $2 million over the last 4 years. For that, the fire station, we have bans on that. Those are borrow and anticipation notes. So as we go out throughout the year, when we had for the fire station, we had many bans that until the fire station is complete, then they would do a borrowing for the complete amount of that project. So we have a series of small bans, ban for like $1 million when we first started. Throughout the year, we have to borrow money to pay for the fire station. So short-term debt right here, the interest on the ban for FY 27. And then on roads, we have a ban that was West Street for the roads, and we're gonna have some money banned for East Main Street for the roads. We're not borrowing any more money this year on roads because we have to keep that debt payment within 2.5 outside of the fire station. So, you know, it's trying to keep that level. So we are going out, we have a call with our, for the bond issuance, we have a call next week that they'll interview us about all our accounts, OPEB, hiring, staffing, contracts, and then they'll issue a rating for us to go out into the market to borrow for the short-term bans. On this short-term ban, we are gonna have to borrow the full amount of the fire station because we're gonna be substantially complete in FY 27. So the interest on the short-term debt, you'll see it goes up substantially for the 667, and that is because we are borrowing the full 25.7 on a short-term note. And then once we get everything done, they'll roll everything into a long-term note for the fire station over the 30-year period. But that's what we got.
Steve,
Councilor Chenier.
I mean, the access road,
Yeah,
2920, you got it listed twice, 2920. I'm looking at 270,000 plus 140,000. Isn't that reimbursed by Casella?
on the access road.
Commercial Drive, is that considered the access road? Or,
It is.
I thought they reimbursed the town for the money.
Mm-hmm.
And same thing with the airport terminal building, wasn't that grant funded?
No, I think that's not the airport terminal now. I think it's when they did that tornado. I think they may have to borrow some money to finish the borrowing on that. That's the airport terminal.
No terminal.
No, the terminal.
Hangar.
Not the hangar, next to the diner. The terminal.
Terminal.
Yeah.
I thought that was grant money, we just had to give a,
No, those are the T hangars that.
no, terminal building. Could you find out?
I will, but I'm gonna say that's an old debt. That's not something we borrowed within the last couple of years. That's a maturing debt.
The building was completed, the tornado was in 2010,
Yeah.
and then that terminal building was probably completed in 21, 20?
Right, and that's a long-term debt. That's mature principal on the long-term debt.
Right,
So they may have borrowed it, that set amount of money way back, but it just trickles down in maturing debt.
Could we find out, if you can get that information for that building?
I can,
For the
yeah.
access road, because I thought the access road was paid for by Casella when it was built. It was, the agreement
Yeah,
was.
no, I know what the
town
agreement was,
bonded-
yeah.
Town bonded, and then they reimbursed us the payment.
Well, it could be, that becomes into the revenue, when we look at the revenue side, we have commercial drive reimbursement on the revenue side.
Okay, maybe, if you
So,
could-
yeah, if you look at the
shows-
revenue
yeah,
side,
yeah.
it shows up as an expense, but then if you look at the revenue and expenses,
It
it
offsets.
offsets.
Okay,
So if you look at, should be, so under the whole budget, you have commercial drive reimbursement.
Right,
So you have a reimbursement here.
so how much is the reimbursement?
The reimbursement here is $375,000. That's pretty close.
That's pretty close.
Yeah, so we had reimbursed of $375, so that's a reimbursement for that.
Right.
Yep.
I think it was because like this our road in there,
Yeah.
and we they paid.
So, but yeah, so we do get reimbursement for that, and so it shows on the revenue side, so it'll be a debt out.
So, I guess it equals the same.
Yeah, it's pretty close. Okay, so that's, yeah.
So why does it show back down there again on the second, 59,500?
Here? Well, this is the principal and this is the interest,
Oh, okay.
right?
So those totals wouldn't add up to that close figure of.
Well, it's 46 here, 46, that's 186, 236, 436, so we're saying we get more revenue in for the reimbursement than we do for expenses. Because we also have like issuance expenses and all that.
Thank you.
And it could be that the reimbursement was a set amount over a period of time.
Could be.
And that's gonna decline. I'll further clarify that when we have our follow-up meeting with Ben Oglesby. Ben came in and did the presentation to council when we were talking about the possibility of borrowing the additional money for the fire station. Remember, we said we might have to borrow $2 to $3 million.
I haven't
And he came out and did a presentation on our debt. We'll follow up. Okay?
Anything further? Okay, all those in favor? Unanimous. Item number 20, review and discuss FY 2027 articles budget number 1900000 in the amount of $1,178,200. Entertain a motion to submit to town council as presented.
Second.
Mr. Manager. 1900000.
administration.
I had it up before.
That's the town admin budget.
I'm trying to find it. Oh, it's like my version.
You had it there because you had the gas.
I did,
It
yeah,
was
yeah,
open,
yeah,
that's the
yeah.
one that was the, on the,
Yeah.
I didn't,
I know
couldn't
it's
find
what's
my,
going there.
get my stuff. It's like a,
So here you have electricity. So that's all our admin accounts, electricity, natural gas, heating, fuel, property management. So property management, we have a decrease from 15,000 to 10,000. Property management includes a $5,000, we pay for the radio tower for the fire and police communications up on Blackmere Road. And then the money that we pay for the holiday visions. And the reason for the decrease is we used to budget for the parking that we paid for next door, but now we own that, so we don't pay parking. Property repair and management, that's if we have any major repairs that have to be done around this building or any other building, we have that. It's almost like a repair reserve fund for those things. And that's an account we do fortunately have because we've had a sewer line breakout in front. We've had other issues in different buildings, so it kind of gives us a little bit of budget for that. Solid waste collection, you'll see that it's an increase of $20,000. We are going to have to do a transfer for the solid waste for all our town buildings in the pickup of trash for all town buildings. The school department has it on their own on theirs. We have our solid waste, so we have to make an adjustment on that. Audit, we do an audit every year. The $54,000 is, we're gonna have a special audit done as well. Every year they can pick an account that we, either a major grant account or other accounts within town from our audit. We're anticipating that one to be done for the schools, for the school activities accounts, because that hasn't been done in a number of years. We have telephone, postage. Spend a lot of money on postage, and postage stamps keep going up and up and up.
Getting to the point you're gonna build a higher prime to deliver instead
Yeah.
of putting portraits.
Copy machine costs, where we have RICO for our lease agreements for the town buildings. And fuel, that's the administrative budget, that's for all gasoline for all town vehicles, fire trucks, and any municipal vehicle. That's our recommendation.
You just got to, Ms. Clemens?
through you to the town manager. On the heating fuel,
Yeah.
you've got a budget in here, 64, 65?
Yeah, it's going to
Current
65.
projected 65.
Right.
Have we made a projection yet on 39L? I mean, one bill was $6,000. And is that built into the budget?
I believe we're gonna have enough in the heating fuel based on trends throughout, but we do have to analyze that a little bit more, so yes.
Well, 6,000. even
I
if
certainly
that was only
understand,
a
Mrs.
few
Clements, yes.
a few months, that's
Mhm.
still.
On the copy machines, are they all under one contract in town or?
It's kind of complicated. Some departments have their own within their budget for copier. But for all the town offices in this building, that's all on a contract. So that contract is the lease of the copiers plus the printing cost and the copy cost and all that.
Ms. Rivers?
Thank you, Jared, for you. Jack, did you look at the local copy company, over on Pleasant Street to see if they could manage the contract for, a better price?
The copier price that we have is through the state contract. If they're not a state bid, we'd have to go for the state bid. And the contract that we have is, RICO is within the municipal Commonwealth of Massachusetts bid.
Is RICO the only company, the only vendor in that contract, for an option?
There could be others, but we already are in the contract with them, so.
Right, so the contract ends at some point in time?
Yeah,
And what about Xerox out of Worcester?
I don't know. We're under contract with RICO currently, so that's the contract price for this coming year.
So would there be an opportunity for a conversation coming up when that contract is set to expire to maybe look at getting all the MSP printers in the town hall on one contract and just centralizing that whole process?
Well, all town hall contracts are there within RICO, and I believe the fire station is now looking to go on RICO too, because they had a local individual, but their costs have become very prohibitive and it's cheaper for them to come on RICO.
I know, but you said something about every department has their own budget for their printers.
Well,
A way to streamline that process, put it under one cost center rather than have it separated out to each department on separate cost centers.
Well, we are in the process of moving a lot of things to one cost center. We've done over the last year, in this fiscal year, moving items that were within individual departments to a central cost center. So we have been working on that. So we have very few departments that have their own printers. But the majority of the town here is on those lease agreements. So, but we are looking at all that.
Thank you.
Thank you. To the citizens' question, it wasn't that long, it was a while back, I don't know if it was pre-COVID or when it was technically, that they had actually, there was a lot of contracts, there was a lot of miscellaneous going on, and then they consolidated and looked for the contract that would be the best, at the time. It could be changing, of course, but I'm just saying, they did go out and really streamline a lot of the printing situations, because there were different departments that were just not having
Right.
issues with their printers. That printer's on warranty with somebody else here, and that one's over there. So it was a big deal. So it's interesting to hear it's RICO now and
Yeah.
whatever. But so they did do some of that. I don't know how good it is, because you should always keep an eye on those things, certainly. But they did. There was a big problem a while back. Hopefully it's better now.
Yeah, I mean, RICO has worked out really well for us, and if there's an issue with the machine, they come in, they just replace the machine upstairs, in the office, so, DPW, like, was under RICO, under our contract.
Yeah. So you have a large.
The town hall, community center is not. Like I said, the fire chief just, spoke to us because they're moving to the new fire station. I think he wants a larger capacity copier because multiple offices, so he's looking to jump in on our RICO lease as well. And the police, they might have one under us, I believe, under our contract with RICO, and then they have a couple smaller ones for their, like in their booking room or their fingerprint room. They got some small ones, but their major printer, I believe, is
I
under
remember when they did that, they were a little bit on the state bid list.
RICO ones, yeah.
Right. Anything further on the articles budget? If not, all those in favor? Unanimous. The next two agenda items are just discussion items. Agenda item number 21 is review and discuss progress on the town vehicle policy. Of course, that's from last meeting where we were looking to creating a town vehicle policy to present to the town council. So I believe Ms. Clemens and Councilor Daniel had done some work on that.
So I'll work with mine. So I did interview with the police department, with Chief Woodson, and also with inspections. We decided to split up the areas that And and I've got documents, I got some stuff that I need to have some printouts made for you guys, obviously for this discussion. It's gonna take more than after being here for 2 hours. Now that we've been here for 2 hours. The police have a very comprehensive policy. It is something that is, blessed by the police unions, the police, Massachusetts police.
And the accreditation.
Whatever yeah, it's all accredited, it is a policy, it is very, particular, and everybody who is involved with this policy must sign off on it. If there's any infringements or anything of the policy, it's a right for expulsion, actually, or for, I say execution, but that's not right. But, lose your job, yeah.
That's local police?
This is what every.
With Shane?
What? With Shane.
With Shane? Okay.
Yeah, you might have seen it. This is what every police station in Massachusetts uses. So that's just one thing. I also came into some other documents from Massachusetts. For instance, there is the Executive Office of Administration and Finance, and there is policy in that document as well. And I've read a lot of it, not all of it, in order to, but I have a number of documents, whether it's, employee benefits and how that's affected by vehicles, whether it's, and those are some interesting documents. But I also came into, there's a number of different communities that have very good policies out there. One of them being, which one's this one, Northampton. That's a good one. So what I want to do is make copies for you guys. I even have a document from Washington on, again, vehicle policy, private, use of vehicle policies. But the most important one, I think, is the MIA. The MIA has a policy, municipal vehicle assignments, personal vehicle use, and those types of things. You have to understand that, we are under MIA, correct? That's our insurance.
It is, yes.
Great. So they have, there is a whole municipal vehicle, assignment of municipal vehicles, and how and why and what you should do with it. Keeping in mind that we insure our vehicles through MIA, and therefore their recommendations might be really important.
Yes.
So that would be something, again, to review that section. And then ultimately, whether we just take some stuff and put it together, or some stuff, that sounds terrible, but take the best of what we see here and apply it. I was told by inspections that they follow the policy that the town has already. There is some type of policy that's sort of, I don't know if it's not signed off on, they said, but it's a acknowledged policy.
I'll double check that.
Yeah, I know, that's what he was saying, that they're, they follow the rules on it, but, I'm just saying. But we discussed who takes the vehicles there and why, based on emergencies that you have to attend to or not, so there were reasons for having a vehicle or not having a vehicle. But I see having rules and having people acknowledge those rules and reiterate and acknowledge or re-sign, whether it's yearly, the police do that yearly, whether we do that with our employees yearly, or contract time, I don't know, or appointment time. I think there's merit to all of it. It's gonna take more than the time we've just had because of everything else that we do too. So I think we should, I can get you copies of things, and then you can digest, and we can get input, you can totally review. I say we have to put that on an agenda in which we probably, spend at least a half an hour or so, I would imagine, just sort of reading through the best parts that you see, that everybody on the committee sees, and then recommend them. But again, I would say that, the police policy looks really good. I mean, they encounter things that are different than the average, use of a municipal vehicle. So they have to have some stringent rules to theirs. And like you talked about, Mr. Town Manager, you can't, what the police do with their private stuff, that doesn't sound right either. What the police do in order to keep their people that work for them anonymous and private in some ways because of the types of work they do. It's important that they can have, something that they feel works strongly for them and that they haven't had issues with.
Right.
If that's not the case, then obviously you have to take it up with the chief. But again, I think it's got good structure for us to even potentially utilize the structure in that. Maybe not all of it. Certain things don't apply, obviously. I don't know what else to say. I mean, it's a lot of information. There's some that, some things I have here, like the general one from Washington. That's nice, or from the federal government standpoint. But how does it apply to us as a municipality? I think the state and Maya, the police, I think we can come up with something that works.
So-
I mean, I don't think it's gonna happen overnight at all.
Right.
It
Could you
takes
get
time.
those documents to Jack and he can print them out for us?
I sent
Yeah,
a lot of the
I think we
documents to
should-
her.
I think we should, we review the,
I think that we're gonna probably have two, I'm not sure, just two different policies, but you got the police.
right,
Undercover, sped,
Yeah.
get their personal car, they're gonna go home with them, we can't.
yeah, I agree.
Right.
Put the policy on the police.
It's not
on
the
regular
same.
employee,
Right,
Yeah,
right.
it'll have to be different.
Yeah, or even the fire
And-
and regular, it's different. I mean, that's a whole different
And
animal.
remember, we're one of the, Shane has gotten the department accredited. And we're not all police departments in the state. In fact, I'd say less than a majority are.
Right.
I think one of the minorities of the departments in the state are accredited. And they did a lot of work on that. And that's certainly, they want to maintain that accreditation, so they need to make sure that their policies are conform with their accreditation standards as well.
But it's not even just the policy,
Mhm.
it's the actual adherence to the policy
Right.
that's most important.
Right, right.
Because you can have a piece of paper that says you're supposed to do something and you go and do it,
Right.
it just doesn't matter,
Right,
right? So,
right, that's true.
So I think it's actually the enactment of it, and the response and the adherence to
Mhm.
it. And he feels that they do a good job with that. So I felt good with that conversation as to hearing what they had to say.
Yeah.
The rest, I feel strongly about, Maya's points. I think that's important,
Yeah.
because the insurance covers it. So you
Yeah.
have to know what the rules are.
Mhm.
So I say we can spend some more time on that,
Yeah,
if that's okay with
absolutely.
the council.
Mr. Chairman, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Just for everybody at the table, we are also looking into participating in a driver certification so that we can participate through Maya employees, when we have employees, verifying those that drive
Mhm.
vehicles for any department. Based, again, you have collective bargaining as well. So, but to have that program available to us to,
Just the rate?
well, it helps with the rewards somewhat,
Okay.
and then, but just the mechanism every year, we will run your
Online course.
we'll run your driver's license to make sure that you haven't had anything within the year. Your license hasn't been suspended, you
So
didn't
that's
get in trouble in
strong.
another, you got in trouble somewhere else
Mhm.
and nobody knows about it, so we would run that on a yearly basis.
Yeah, so you can get those to Jack and
Great.
I submitted a bunch. I can forward you what I sent out to the
Yeah,
committee.
you sent-
I
you
can
sent
forward it
stuff,
to you
yes,
as well.
yeah.
appreciate
Okay.
that.
So,
All right, so we got some reading to do anyway.
you'll have some reading to do.
Okay.
Now, I am leaving tomorrow, so. If I can back.
So are we gonna get an email with these info?
Yeah, let me, so I mean, there's some things I don't know, some things when you talk about like the employee benefits and taxation and those things, I don't think that's like, you need to waste a lot of, I guess it could be scanned in and then sent. I think what you really want is the Maya and the state one,
Mhm.
Well, even
and,
some of the tax things, I was looking at some of the
So,
tax things,
yeah.
it's upon the employer that needs to.
well, you can depending
1099.
on the usage, if it's strictly work usage, it's not the same as personal usage. If you're
Right.
using it as personal time, then it's a real benefit, it's a 1099.
Yeah.
But if you're using it strictly for business, it's not the same.
Right. And then it gets into, do you have
It's not
equipment on
bad.
it? Do you not have equipment on it? Is it marked? Is it not marked?
Right.
There's a whole bunch of things.
The only issue we're gonna face, when people live in town, people live out of town, taking the town vehicle out of the town, I think that's the major thing.
No, I think it is to do, if you're out of town and you are still responding to an emergency, that counts.
But some people using our town car to respond to different emergency, they're doing different department work, type of work. I'm just gonna give you some small example, not to attack anyone, but our fire chief,
Mhm.
he work at Leicester Fire Department as
Okay.
well. So if it's fire in Leicester, he's taking our town vehicle. If something happened with that town vehicle,
Shouldn't be
respond to
doing
his town.
Yeah, I wasn't aware of that, so.
He
I'll
should not be
follow up on
doing that. But of course, he's always on duty for us, so he needs his vehicle in case he gets called for us. But I don't like that. Just saying.
That was the first I heard of it.
Well, see, that's, so remember, the natural course of things is you talk to your town manager and he talks to your department person.
Yeah, I
That's
was
the
not,
normal course.
I was aware
Wow,
of the
that's
fact that,
interesting. That's too bad.
to maintain his paramedic skills, because he is a paramedic, that he'll work a shift at, once in a while, but I don't even know how often.
All right.
Or like that.
I don't want to start talking about
Yeah, no, I don't know.
at this point in time.
Thank you.
John, Councilor Daniel, do you have anything?
I spoke with the fire chief and with the DPW director, and it's a total of 4 vehicles that we're talking about here. Only one vehicle is used to go home at the DPW, and that's the DPW director's car, 32, I guess it is, 31 or 32, and that's the only car. He says he takes it home and he leaves it there. On occasion, he uses what's called de minimis use, which is like he stops on the way home and picks up a loaf of bread. But aside from de minimis use, the car stays home unless he needs it to come out. For instance, he says he was out a lot with the storms this past winter and that sort of thing, checking around what's going on and all, but that's it. But there's no policy that he's following other than he's using good judgment. He feels he's using good judgment on how he uses the vehicle and when he uses the vehicle. In talking with the fire chief, there were 3 cars, C1, C2, and C8. And the chief feels that for emergency response, based upon public safety needs, those 3 cars need to be able to go home. There's no written policy like the police have in terms of what the fire department uses. I didn't get a sense that there was any kind of reference to a town policy, but again, it's more of a common sense type of approach to when you use the car, when you don't use the car, with the knowledge that people in town don't want the car being used for anything other than the occasional de minimis type of response. The fire chief is aware that there's some concern about the use of the vehicles in his department, and he's open to discuss those as well. He certainly didn't tell me he was shutting down and just saying this is what I want and drawing a line in the sand. So he's willing to work with us in terms of devising a policy, but he has, in my mind, he's got some pretty strong arguments in terms of the cars needing to be brought home because of the 24-hour nature of their business. So that's basically it. But you know, we're talking 4 cars total. I was kind of surprised by that. That's why I mentioned it. I don't know how many vehicles we have in town altogether, but the policy, I think, putting together a policy, I think, is necessary. But I think that, I think you said earlier that you'd have more than one policy based upon the department. That may be the way we're gonna have to go, just on first glance.
I don't know if that's fair, or you wanna go that route, like on the department, you can put a tracking device. The vehicle where it's going, I know.
GPS?
Some department you can't do this, but it's good for the insurance, the speed, where it's going.
Right. Administrative vehicles, you could. Police vehicles, I'd have to check.
That's why I said depend on the department.
Right. Well, no, it could be collective bargaining issues that
Well,
the
yeah.
union would have to agree and collectively impact bargain. You know, but it's I know other departments use it. You know, outside of the police department, who assigns their vehicles, you know, the chief and his staff, and detectives that may have take-home cars dependent on operational needs. The only other vehicles that we're talking about, I have a vehicle. I use it. I've had that vehicle for what, 3 years now. I think I have about 11,000 miles on it. So it's really, I use it up and down, de minimis. Teddy has his car, and Mike Julian has the truck, and they go out in the middle of the night to fires, board up buildings if there's a fire or whatever, inspectional health. Weekends they go out. Mike has gone out on weekends, and if he sees somebody working without a permit, he's able to go out and enforce, you know, those things. That's it for the town vehicles. Outside of that, we have the 2 curbside vehicles, but those are parked, those are only used during the workday. The leaf vehicle that's only here for employees, and the green car that's in the inspections department, they don't go out at night, so Mike's truck has additional equipment to board up, so that's stocked with materials and tools and all that, so rather than leave it here, he has it at his residence. And they live in town as well, so.
So it matter not many vehicle out there, just to put a policy for future.
No, policy is great. I think it is great. You know, there should be somewhat policy, like you put in, you know, subject to, you know, RV check, quarry checks, and all that.
Yeah, so just see Maya's page on their 5, actually, that's what I highlighted when I read through that, had to get my brain back in. You know, they have assignment of municipal vehicles and the criteria to it, and one of them that's important is like prior to the assignment, you've got to give them a copy of your license. You know, your HR is supposed to have a copy of the license. There's different things like that, you know, as to how they say you're supposed to do it, and this is based on, they have policies. If you're using your own vehicle for company work, there are policies to that. You're supposed to keep a certain amount of coverage. You're supposed to show them your driver's license there too, and have a copy of it. That's all, and that's your vehicle, but they have rules if you're an employee on business for the town using your own vehicle. So you know, it's kind of, and it also has the list of rules and responsibilities. That was a good one. I really liked reading that part because there's a whole lot of them, and yeah. I know sometimes there's concern as to how someone is using the vehicle. It talks about, you know, when you can transport anybody else, passengers limited to town employees, and then, you know, even say, you know, family members shall not ordinarily be transported in municipal vehicles. Obviously, there could always be an incident where, you know, an emergency situation, your child is at school and you've got to be, whatever it is, that could happen. But they do say not ordinarily, and I think that's the out slightly. Maybe that's where the policy is. Should this occur, you must notify your senior, your whatever you guys call each other, department person, and before you engage in utilizing the vehicle to have a family member in it, or something like that. You know, there could be policies like this. I know that comes up as concerns with people as to who is in a vehicle. And so I think they give a slight wiggle room there if there should be an emergency. But they have the whole list here. I haven't memorized them all, but
Who should be in the vehicle too. all the
exactly.
employees.
Yep. So I think with the list of criteria for Maya, and the only thing I wanted to ask is this is March 5th of 22. Is there a newer policy to it of any kind?
I got that off of the Maya website.
You
I can
did
double
that?
check
Okay.
if they've updated
So yeah, I
it.
just didn't notice. I hadn't checked
There's
yet.
an update, I saw
yeah,
the same
that-
thing,
that
I
was-
just didn't print it out.
And there's so many rules. There's like 2-3 pages of them. It's quite interesting. And then special circumstances. I mean, I think they've laid it out pretty nicely. You know, why reinvent the wheel? As long as we go through them, agree that certain things work for us, and make sure that's what we want. Same thing. We can pull some stuff out of here, but I really think they've done a good blueprint along with a couple of the other towns. So.
I know we had a couple discussions over time with Maya, when we had a firefighter responding to the fire station with his personal vehicle, killed somebody. And then we had a firefighter responding to a fire in his personal vehicle, crashed it, and the town had to pay the bill. So those were, and they never developed a policy about equipment because
That's a weird one, because you're going to, if you're at home and you're going to work, why would we be responsible from the time you leave your house till you get to work? Once you get to work,
because
if you do something in your
Respond
home.
to an emergency.
They were called out. So,
There are different cases out there
Right.
that have
You know
that.
what I mean? That's kind of
No,
like.
it's like if
It's
you're
like
a call
some-
firefighter or you're a
Correct.
firefighter, you're responding from your home to.
But shouldn't you be following the rules of
But
the
I
road
do
when
believe
you're-
that.
'cause you're not an emergency
but
vehicle at
actually,
that
he
moment.
was hit by somebody else, legit
no.
hits.
But I do believe
okay.
I do
Yeah.
believe now.
There's got to be some responsibility.
We don't. You must go to the fire station.
Yes,
You're supposed
okay.
to use due care, right?
Yeah.
You're not going directly to a fire
That's what I'm saying.
anymore.
You're responsible for the
So-
rules of the road.
And that's the thing with me, I mean, I
think
brought
the
it to
town
Jack a
should
few
get sued.
times, was with the fire inspector, all of a sudden, he's allowed to take home his car. I understand the nature of the beast, but why, after the history of the fire department, the inspector all of a sudden needed to come and take home a vehicle. When it's just as important for the guy, the paramedic is more important than the fire inspector coming in for a call. So, and that was my thing that originally started this, because I got a complaint about the vehicles. You know?
Council Dow.
Question, you say Chief Wilson have his own written policy?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Mm-hmm.
So why we
So we can
don't
get you a copy of that.
let the fire department create one and we can review it and see what's the best for him? We can adjust something. Same thing, the police department. And then we have, you know, their own policy, they know what they need, and then we can review, say yes, or we can adjust something, or, and then adopt it. And then we can do one for the town.
That's probably a good idea.
So
You
we'll
know,
need three
they can put their
policies,
own needs in there and,
and then we can review
Yeah.
them and.
I was just wondering though, if the fire seems to be a bit like the inspections. I mean, there's certain people that need it and certain people that don't.
Right.
So it almost seems to fall under a town policy
Yeah.
more than the police is just
well,
incognito
why don't,
here.
I think-
You know?
why don't we
But
do
either way.
this? I mean, why don't we create the town policy and
Plus, yeah.
and then present it to the chief?
And then let them adapt it to
Yeah,
what they
like-
need.
that's, you know, if
That
they,
makes sense,
if
yeah.
they need
Set what
anything
the-
else in there, or if they need their own policy, then we can
Then
make,
they
we
can-
can make the decision at that time.
Yeah.
My concern is Maya's recommendations wouldn't necessarily be adapted if you just let the departments create their own policy.
Right.
Yeah.
So there needs to be, I think Maya needs to be an overriding concern or
We
input.
need to keep that in
into
the,
it.
Right.
yeah, that has to be part of the
Right.
process.
Yeah, an overarching town policy that you
Yeah.
defer to, police defer to,
Right.
you know, as a accredited policy, we defer to those
Right.
items
Right.
relative to police officers on duty, right?
Yeah, we should ask, I didn't notice that, but we should ask Maya about that. I mean,
Well, we
that's
can, yeah.
important.
A lot
Like,
of more
is
departments are going to accreditation, so we could.
well, just saying like, okay, you've got all this saying we need a policy, but the police have their own policy. Does it have to be, like, do you
Yeah.
have to approve it? Do you have to say that it's a?
No, I don't think so, no.
I mean, the police department is kind of tricky, like again, it's gonna be detective undercovers, you know, they're
Yeah.
gonna go out at a different time, you can't.
Mhm. Yep. Exactly. I even questioned, to be honest, you know, I questioned Woodson because I said something about you're not using it for your own personal use. He goes, well, no. I said, but we could track that. I said, by your gas use, right? You know, I joked about figuring it out because they go and get their gas. And I said, obviously, if you filled up on Friday and then you needed to fill up again on Monday, something's not right. He goes, well, if I drove to some association, you know, there are things he does at times. He's out of town a lot because of the association and, you know, for being the president of the group.
Yes.
And he does different things, obviously, but it was kind of an interesting, I said,
You touched Dave now.
what?
You touched Dave.
Oh, no. But anyway, it was a very interesting conversation, and I stuck him with a few things just to see what his response would be, and I found it adequate, you know, like,
Yeah.
it was a natural and adequate,
Yeah.
like, it wasn't,
I do know, I don't know what you're getting at. I do know as a police chief, you were assigned a police car, part of your duties, you're on
It's-
call
yeah.
24 hours a day.
it's part of your
So
contract.
he could be at an association meeting and something comes up and he has to come back
He's
to
right.
town,
Yeah.
so.
Right,
that's-
yep,
Councilor Adams, do you have anything?
no,
Just
no.
quick, relax over there. GPS systems, all cars are tracked with GPS systems, right? Do we have GPS systems?
Well, that's what we just said up here, I don't know if you heard us.
The problem, you can't do it on the undercovers cars or
Yeah.
detective cars.
So-
It's fine, but all vehicles have GPS systems already built in them.
Well, if
So
you,
can
yeah, like
pull
the black
them when
box,
you want. So if you think there's misuse, you can pull the
Yeah.
GPS system.
there's a,
You'd have to do it under, you know,
You
there's
have
collective
to go-
bargaining and it gets a little
have to go to
complicated,
court.
collective bargaining and all that.
lawyers,
Yeah,
Impact
so
bargaining and all
It's
that.
actually hard to get at, it's hard to get at
It's hard
that.
to get GPS data.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Really, all I hear is no, but I'm kind
No, no,
of
no.
just telling you, you know, they all have GPS systems, or they're built with GPS systems, so you can add GPS systems.
You can add
Well, yeah.
GPS.
Is that,
You can add, but you have to
But
collectively
Denise brought up a
bargain
good
it.
point. What if you come back and you're filling up your tank every 3 days or 2 days because of that? Well, that's the GPS system. Will tell you exactly where you went, what miles you were at, and everything.
Well, our system will tell you.
I was saying we do have the ability to
Because our
know
fobs tell you how often.
which car
you
has so
do
much
that.
gas.
Sure, but the point is the fact that what if they had to go to Cape Cod for, or they had to go to a course system or something like that, you wouldn't be able to know by the gas. You would know by the GPS system.
Correct, correct. It,
Alright.
no. Anyway, all
Okay.
right, so
So,
I'll get some copies of things.
yes, and so, I mean, we're gonna have to have more discussion on this, obviously, so
Put
let's,
it on an every meeting.
Yeah.
Little something till it's done, I guess.
Yeah, it's gonna be on, we'll put it on the agenda for the next meeting. We have another agenda item to get to tonight, and that would be, agenda item number 22, which is to review and discuss, town public meeting recording policy, or draft public meeting recording policy. I don't know if everybody has actually looked at that.
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
All right. I did get a chance to look at it. I read it a couple of times. I think it's short and sweet, it's to the point. I think it makes sense in terms of who should be recording their meetings, which is pretty much everyone. But that's stated in the policy. In terms of non-compliance, I guess we do need to decide, is there some kind of a repercussion? And the effective date would be, of course, when town council adopts the policy. But I feel that there should be some kind of consequence for non-compliance, because I think it's important, it protects the town, and more importantly, it lets the citizens, it gives the citizens another opportunity to see what's going on, and I think that's critical, I think that's paramount. So I think that this policy is important, and there should be some kind of consequence or repercussion if there's no legitimate reason for the recording to have taken place.
Question.
Yes.
On policy, John, how would we handle autonomous boards, Board of Health, Airport Commission,
Traffic.
Conservation? Well, they are total autonomous to the authority of us. How would we handle that?
Traffic.
I know we didn't think about that, but
Well, they,
You're saying it is applying to all boards, commissions, committees, and subcommittees. I don't
Right.
know. Yeah, they're quasi-judicial, so.
under the Massachusetts open meeting law, are they required to post meetings under the Massachusetts open
Yes,
meeting law?
they are.
Well, then they have to submit to the policy.
So the traffic commissioner to happen at the police station have to follow
They would
the
have
policy.
to, or have meetings here.
we talked about the
This is
Council on Aging having to come up here.
Right, I mean, that's,
You know?
that's,
putting a lot of burden on volunteers. I'm sorry, I don't agree.
Yes.
So the reason why I brought this up is we've had issues in the past. Conversations have been had at the meetings that were illegal, violating open meeting laws, period. So you have staff members that are assigned to every board that's out there, conservation, whatever it may be, down to the trail committee, right? And even the council on aging, you have somebody assigned there. The staff member is responsible for getting that locked on with the cable unless the chair would like to do that or whatever it may be. It's not that difficult to do. Our expectations are too low. They should be higher. We have a capability, we spend a lot of money, ARPA money, taxpayer money to put all this stuff into all these places. And I know back when, we used to bring a big ass, excuse my language, Mr. Chair, a big old camera in here, and you did it that way. And there's nothing wrong with it, and I know those cameras are kind of small on a tripod, that if you have council on aging, they can lock that on with the staff. People don't like it because now you can't, now you have to follow some type of rule, hopefully. So my recommendation is everybody, I mean, I'm not gonna die on the vine.
Can't say you
It doesn't-
lost it.
But I think we have to have, we should have an accountability at that point in
Correct.
time. Why not?
You're 100% correct.
So, Ms. Dean,
Yeah, so I
please.
think I was recently staffed to one of the last holdouts of not having a staff, the Historical Commission, and I record them using the Teams recorder because they want to meet in the Evelyn Petrelli room because it's dedicated to the Historical Commission. So I just want to make sure, based on this policy, is that allowed, rather than using the
Absolutely.
the
Yeah, as long
equipment.
as it's recorded.
Yes, okay, so that's a solution for
Well-
us, because we did try using the cable equipment, and it was just really cramped.
Just want to point out, I do not believe that the open meeting law requires us to record
it's not.
No.
any
I
meetings.
thought I
It's
took
not.
that out, okay. I'm sorry.
Okay, you know, so this is really a service we're providing to our residents, all right? The open meeting law requires us to have minutes, and it requires us to have our meetings open so people can attend in person. And if we do decide to go to do a remote meeting, we have to make sure that that meeting is open to others, like a Zoom. If we wanted to have a Zoom meeting, we'd have to make sure that the town knew how to get on Zoom, okay? But there is no policy in the state that requires us to video record or even audio record our meetings. So,
Did I accidentally put that in there?
no, I don't think so, but I just want to make that a point, that this is over and above anything the open meeting law requires. Ms. Clemens.
Thanks. So I also want to point out, first off, has anybody counted up the number of committees and commissions and member groups that we have? So you're asking, we have 4 rooms, or 3 rooms, you know, you guys have this one taken up a lot for meetings. So that's gone.
We have another one.
You know, right, but my point is, there have been times when you couldn't have a meeting in this town hall because everybody else, you know, because the rooms were all taken. So saying that you're gonna be available, and I'm not, I mean, I couldn't get, let's just say this, when we first got cameras, I couldn't get chair people to follow the rules. Get the key for the box and come down and do it. I mean, they just, all you had to do, we had a rule in place with cable. You had to ask us like 12 hours ahead, minimum 12 hours or something, so that we could plan to either leave an envelope, do something, engage you in some way, because people wouldn't come up where cable wasn't always there. So how did you get the key to the box? If cable's not there to fix the box and open the box for you, who has the key? So there was a lot, and did you think about, I don't know what they do now, don't they lock that box still? So who unlocks the box? I mean, if you don't have the key to unlock the box, and you're the trails committee that only, you know, the trails committee, they're talking about the bikes and the trails, and, you know, they're not like the commission or the council or whatever. I think you're putting a lot of burden on the little bit of volunteers we have now on committees. We don't have a cable committee, right? Because you can't get enough people to actually do the cable committee correctly. So it's not as easy as you think. This is nice. It's wonderful. The policy looks great in a perfect world. This is not a perfect world, and when you can't even get chair people themselves of the council subcommittees to commit to doing what they had to do to make it happen. They exist, but they don't just happen. You have to know how to use it. That's fine. Train everybody. Send out a paper. We did all that. We explained exactly how to do it, but you had to lock it up when you were done, and you had to return the key, and you had to get that key to even start the whole process. So where's that in your policy?
So, yeah, I mean,
Where is the policy to make sure, because cable only works part-time, or whatever, you know?
There
I
are
mean,
logistical issues to this.
yeah, you haven't thought about anything, you just got a policy, let's vote on it, let's do it. It doesn't work, you have to have the
No,
logistics.
nobody's asking for a vote tonight.
No, I'm just
No,
saying, it's that, you know, I could, oh, this is
I
good,
mean,
let's do it, but it's not so easy.
When you want to become a chair, you hold that responsibility.
You do, but they couldn't
should
take
be
their minutes,
responsible.
so you stopped doing that, and you couldn't do the recording, so cable seems to be magically around. I don't ever see anybody go get the key. I don't know.
I
I'm
think
just,
if
It was
we,
upstairs every day, Monday through
they're
Friday.
not always in that
if we
office.
have to do it, everybody
They
should
go and
do it.
take things.
I'm yet not to see it yet.
I was there for 5 years. I saw what happened. I created the policy.
Councilor Adams.
I think it's a good thing. It's just,
Ms. Clemens, your policy was great, and I will tell you, when I came on board at 18, all the chairs were doing it. They were actually going upstairs and grabbing it, because there was that policy in place.
they weren't
And
taking it in time sometimes, and cable wasn't always there.
I'm just telling you,
Okay.
when I saw where we did it, I know John and Jack were there at the same time, it did happen. And not that the mistakes don't happen, they do make big mistakes. But you're right on the point about taking minutes and getting them recorded. That's by open law, that is a requirement.
That is the law.
Right? But if we continue to act the way that we can't do it somehow or another, there's capable individuals that can do it.
Right.
I think it's cutting people short, and I got it. Maybe there's a trial period for the 6 months to see how it goes. But I don't think it takes 5 minutes, literally, probably less than 5 minutes
But you
to get a
didn't-
key.
right.
If you have to get a key.
But if you have to, right. But what I'm saying is you're asking every committee to get, and you gotta get the key ahead. They're not always in there for every meeting, every night, every day. There's not always somebody. They're out there videoing, they're doing things. You had to arrange to get that key. It wasn't just like, I have a meeting at 6, I'm gonna get the key. If they're not there, you don't get the key.
Let the chair sign and.
I'm just saying, it's not, you're talking all these other people on
It was
boards.
not more than it.
Yeah, well,
Let-
let's
let
not
the
everybody
chair-
talk at the
Sorry,
same
all
time.
right, sorry.
Let's not everybody talk at the same time. Councilor Dow.
I say, it can be like every chairs, sign, he receive it, he keep it on him all the time. And then when he finish his duty as a chair, return back the key. I mean, it's not a gold in it or money. And then during the day, the cable, they will come and maintain it and make sure, you know, it's a tape there for the meeting during whatever the meeting time is.
Are all the boxes keyed the same?
Yes, the same key.
That's good. Good to
Ms.
know.
All the
Dean.
boxes are keyed the same. I'm
Ms. Dean.
If I could just share how it's working today, as long as your meeting's posted, generally, as long as your meeting is posted, the cable office is watching to make sure that they contact you and find out whether they can record it. That's generally, it may not be for all boards, committees, commissions. And so if you're not gonna be there, sometimes they'll make sure that the key is in the box for you to use it at that time. So I think that, you know, if the chair's proactive, you build those relationships, it could work as best practice. I'd hate to see something punitive necessarily, but I do think it's a great best practice.
So,
Mr. Van Duyn.
I think overall, if you look at the boards that we have, Conservation, Board of Health, now the Liquor Board has their meetings. And all of those boards, I think it's the smaller boards that,
Disabilities.
like the
board,
rail
the
trail,
rail trail board.
recreation, you know, recreation, no doubt could probably have a meeting here. They usually have it at the community center because it's a community center, right? That's where they're out of. We wouldn't put a cable box down there, but, you know, so there might be a
Expensive.
way around it, within that regard. So, I know the big impetus for a lot of this was the liquor commission at the beginning because of the liquor board hearings, but,
Yeah.
for the most part, those smaller committees are the ones that may have issues that we have to figure out.
Chair,
Councilor Dow?
but it's important because now people out there, they can watch what's going on.
Oh, yeah,
what happened.
absolutely, yeah.
They can get involved. They can, you know, share their thought or whatever. Now people doesn't know about these boards sometimes,
Yeah.
what I've been doing. It's important to report them and post them.
Councilor
I'm
Adams?
not saying it's not important. I just think it's, when you say, oh, what's the, you know, what's the consequence if you don't do it? I'm a little bit worried about the heavy-handedness, it sounds, in the policy, the heavy-handedness, that's all.
Councilor Adams?
So, and thank you for saying that, because it can be adjusted as the discussion goes on. We talk about the small board, let's say the assessors, right? We just had we got a brief on our tax rate not long ago. It lasted a couple minutes, but I never heard how we even got to this level of our tax rates through the whole process. And it's a very important board. Even though it's small, it's important. By the way, we provide stipends to the individuals that are on the assessors. So I think it's very important for the public to be able to see it. And writing the minutes, you know as well as anybody, you can adjust those minutes as you see fit. They can be short, they can be long, they can be very detailed, or they can have absolutely nothing in it besides.
Well, we got in trouble for the absolutely nothing a long time ago.
Yeah.
Why did we have a recording clerk when all we got was vote, vote, vote? I'm like, we're having the
Correct.
discussion. And we fixed that, as mostly,
Yeah.
yes. So,
Mr.
it was bad.
Mr.
Real
Manager?
quick.
The tape wasn't raised somehow.
To the assessor,
Oh,
to the Board of
okay, well, that's
Assessors,
why you've got to bring it.
that's easier because they meet here.
Yeah.
Right.
They
Right.
could meet in this room, there's a million rooms in this building. During the day, they meet at 10 o'clock in the morning, right? When you say all boards and commissions too, we just have to define it. Retirement board, they're not under us, so are they
Well,
one
then
that has to be, you know what I mean? So I
You
think.
have to think
You
about
have to
it.
think about what boards
A
and
little bit
commissions
more.
we're gonna put this under, where they might
Absolutely.
meet and all that, so.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. We need to think about which boards.
Another
Really,
thought
this is
about
gonna apply to-
Because they don't even have to meet,
Who?
like the retirement.
Right, no, they don't.
They can set it off and something.
So-
Yeah, exactly.
You gotta have some
I gotta-
exemptions here.
I gotta say, when I read non-compliance, or when I read your question, when I read the question, could there be repercussions if not complied with? I kind of read that as more from a legal point of view. Would there be if we impose this policy on everybody, is there going to be liability on the town somehow if we don't record a meeting? You know, so that's kind of so I don't know the answer to that question. Is there some kind of complaint a citizen could make if we have this policy and it's not fulfilled? That's one of the questions I had, and that's actually kind of how I interpreted that. Probably didn't really read the question quite carefully, but as far as, I don't know what repercussions you would want to put on anybody individually. I think that is a good point, that we are all volunteers here.
And we have a lot of openings.
You know, I mean, what are you gonna do to a volunteer? You know?
So can I try to answer that?
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Put it in there to leave all the options open.
Yep.
If it doesn't go there, then it doesn't go there. That's what the discussion's
Yeah.
all about. Is it even worth putting in? Can you even do anything?
Mm-hmm.
Don't know. Does other towns do anything if that happens? I don't even know if they have those same policies.
No, I don't.
I think it has to be like a mess.
You know, who knows, but we threw it out there just to say, this is what we got, and delete it if you guys feel that it needs to be deleted, that's okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
If you fail to follow the policy, you'll be automatic discharged from your duty. Done.
Well, then,
Mr. Chairman,
we
just-
won't have anybody left.
Just real quick.
I'm out of here.
Real quick.
This has been a good haul, a good
So-
Change that budget up.
Just,
I mean, you hide
it's
something.
getting late, but,
Yeah.
just real quick. Evidently, I sent out a lot of vehicle policies, right? Because I searched for video policies for towns in Massachusetts, and I think I found one, maybe. Right, so it's
Be
not.
a trendsetter, not a
Could
set
be-
of trends.
No, I'm just saying. Somebody asked a question, are there others out there? I did that search and I couldn't.
But don't you feel that you sending out a letter to all the boards and commissions and all the groups saying that, you know, you had to record the meetings, most of them will adhere to that policy? And if the ones don't, they don't.
Well, most of them do now, that's the thing.
You
So
know?
you get the smaller
It's an
ones,
adjustment.
you know, so. Yeah,
All right,
it's certainly
so-
something we can work on.
I think more discussion on this is proper, so we'll put it on the agenda again next time. All right. Anything else on this topic?
One question, did we ask cable whether an influx in more meetings would follow?
I don't know that anybody has asked cable, so maybe we should ask cable.
I'm just saying, if they're doing all their work already, is this gonna be a problem for them at all? Just saying, they have work to do for the
The road should be on all.
All right.
There's work to be done.
there's, you know,
There's work.
because they have increased the cable, videos over the years, it's increased, we're not increasing people, and they need to go out and film things going on too, not just, so, it shouldn't be hard,
All
but
right.
But it's just a button off and on and take the CD for another.
it's,
Well,
they put titles, it takes time,
So-
you go do it, Jeff.
let me just,
Yeah.
real
I
quick,
hate
'cause
technology.
I know everybody's getting like.
Yeah,
Okay, so we videotape it. Nothing to say that the cable has to put it on.
this is true,
Right.
right, it's just in our,
Could be a
it's in our
cell phone.
library.
Huh?
Should it be a cell phone?
Well, it could be, but no, but my point is, even if we videotape it, which is a good thing,
Doesn't mean they're.
nothing says that cable has to
They
put it as
don't,
part of
yeah.
their program.
Nope.
They could just file it and
Right.
put it somewhere.
Right.
So I just want that
Very good.
out there.
Right.
Yeah. It should be going on your YouTube, on like your town YouTubes. Yeah, somebody should keep that up.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, it's important, again, people know what's going on
Yeah,
and get involved. You
Yeah,
know, a lot
I-
of poor people never heard of it.
I agree 100%.
No, I think it's
But it-
it's not a bad thing. Hey, we
It's
take
just-
cameras
it's just-
for everyone.
I think it's just a matter of
meetings
getting
we do
it-
at the airport.
I think it's just a matter of getting it to address, make sure it's addressing the right committees, make sure it's, I think I'm not saying we shouldn't have a recording policy, I think it is a good thing, I think the more
Should be a record.
access you give to people, more encouragement you give to people to be involved in the town, and that's a good thing. But I just want to make sure that we get whatever policy we have out there right, and that we can logistically accomplish what the goals that we want to accomplish. So there are some logistical issues. I mean, we have committees that don't meet in this building. Can the cable recording accommodate it all? Can we accommodate everybody in this building, in one of the two, we got 2 meeting rooms with this?
No, we have 4.
There's
4 meeting rooms?
There's
Okay.
three recording rooms, right?
4.
Four, okay, so,
There's 2 downstairs, economic development.
yeah.
There's two
Yeah,
downstairs?
but you wouldn't meet in the office.
No, but I mean, yeah.
They got their business.
No, but if planning and development is there or whatever is there, then, but they also have the GAR hall, is that GAR? Or
McCann and
room?
GAR.
Right, so they
My
have
office is GAR, across the hall is the McCann.
McCann room, and then you have the Rice room, and then this room.
I would be hesitant to tell people that they have to use their own private recording equipment. And
Yeah.
it should be something that gets dumped into, you know,
Sure, the
centralized
Law violation
place,
too.
huh?
That could be a personal, that could be, their
Like-
phone could be pulled.
yeah, 'cause it-
No, wouldn't,
Then it's
yeah,
subject
you would have
to-
to go borrow equipment from cable,
Right.
that's what we used to
Sure.
do our meetings at the airport
Yeah.
for the charter. review.
Knowing Charlie like I
But that's
do,
a lot
I'm
of work.
sure that if you went to them and they worked out a schedule with Charlie, he would accommodate all the boards.
Right.
And in the case if he couldn't do it, he would teach somebody to have a camera, you know, like Mike at the recreation.
Could have a
So-
camera right down there and keep it there, and
So there's ways to
All right.
make it work.
Okay, so I think more discussion on this is definitely necessary, and we'll put it on the agenda for next time.
I'm gonna stick with it for the-
Agenda item number 23, adjournment.
So moved.
All in favor?